Yeah! Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Oh, you know what I realized?
What's that?
I didn't even put on headphones.
You don't need headphones, do you?
Well, then I won't be able to hear Ben.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. So you don't need them?
Might be a positive.
Can you imagine if we did a whole show where we just left our headphones off and talked in here and we just waited sometimes to see if Ben was paying attention for him to talk?
Ben just speaks at odd occasion and we don't know what's ever being said.
Hi, Rich.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good to hear you.
Look at that. We're doing it.
It's a Thursday. It definitely feels like a Thursday. We're cruising into the weekend here. And maybe it feels different than any Thursday, though, in the history of Thursdays this baseball season here in 2023, because something happened that hasn't happened yet in 2023 this Thursday, and that is a victory in extra innings by your San Diego Padres.
Wow.
Okay, all hands on deck. 70470, start your message with team. That's TEAM, 70470. If anybody can answer this question, I would love them to, and we're going to ask it amongst ourselves. What the hell is going on with the San Diego Padres? What is happening?
You can also have 30 seconds on the free iHeartRadio app to talk back to us. We'll play those later in the show, but go over to the free iHeartRadio app, listen to our show, click on the microphone icon, bottom right corner of the screen, and you could have 30 seconds to, what do we call it, Travis?
Say what's up.
Say what's up.
Say what's up.
Say what's up. But Rich, to answer part of your question with what the hell is happening, here's what needs to happen if the Padres want a shot at the 2023 postseason. They need to sweep the White Sox. Okay, that's step one. Padres can't lose another game. Step two, Marlins and Cubs each need to lose their last 4 games of the season. And then the Reds need to lose their series against the Pirates, but not lose all 3 games. They only have to lose 2 out of the 3. So it's very confusing. AJ Cassavell did a much better job than I did of breaking down what needs to happen, but that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that much,
but it's pretty impossible.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, but we've said that a lot.
Yeah, because this was supposed to be sewn up last week, maybe the week before. So here we are with 3 games left.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was 4 games yesterday, so this team only has 3 left to play, and they have to win all of them. And then other things certainly have to happen in order for them to get this to get this to go. But
are they 1 game away from 500 now?
Yes.
This is outrageous.
It's the end of the season.
They have been the best team in all of baseball over the month of September. Now, they've been playing teams that kind of suck, so that leads to it, and teams that aren't playing for anything. But still, numbers are numbers. They are the best team in Major League Baseball in the month of September.
Yeah.
I am bouncing between being insanely frustrated with this team and encouraged that this is a good sign.
Yeah, frustrated is where you should be.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get. So is there no good to take away from
I
what
really
the
don't
Padres are doing?
like. I'm not looking at this month as anything unless they somehow magically finish the run and get into the postseason, just because of who they've been playing. Like, and I understand it's Major League Baseball, like whatever, but the teams they've been playing aren't playing for anything. They have no motivation coming into the games. What I focus more on is the storylines off the field, because we got another one yesterday. So right now, the tally is up to 3 pretty bombshell articles about these San Diego Padres within the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Kevin had another one yesterday. We'll talk to Kevin at 8:00 today.
Yeah.
You know what would fix all that? Winning.
It sure would.
I mean, all of a sudden, for somehow, some way, the seas part, the clouds open, the Padres make the playoffs. Miraculously, the players who have been hurt start to feel a little better. They get back there out on the field, and then they make a run. Well, hold on. All of a sudden, 82-80, no one cares at the record.
Not to be a jerk, but they're not making the postseason.
I don't think so either.
Fangraphs still has about a 0.0% chance.
Fangraphs isn't the last word on this. The Padres. Well,
right.
Actually, maybe not the Padres. The Reds are, or the Cubs are.
Yeah, or the Marlins.
Or the Marlins are.
Those teams need to lose every game.
Those teams are the last word.
Yes, that's exactly right. Look, if the Padres don't win out, what's the worst thing that can happen? Probably probably the same thing if they do, which is miss the postseason. Now, again, my hope is that this does have some positive carryover to next year. Like there's something clicked in. They got used to a feeling that very much so they weren't used to this entire year so far. And the result is the Padres starting next season on the right foot. I don't really believe in carryover from season to season, but there's going to be a lot of the same players out there, and they're going to be able to reference back now 2 years ago when they went to the NLCS, now to last year where they went on this fun run during the month of September to become one of the best teams in baseball in the month of September, if not the best, which is what they should have been the whole season long.
Yeah.
What would have been really, really bad and really strange and really destructive is if the Padres went the entire season without once having a consistent run. Imagine this season ended where they didn't win a single extra inning game, where they didn't have a win streak more than 3 games in a row at any point during the course of the season. That would be destructive.
So here's what's worrisome for me, Rich, and it's the fact that they're doing this without the guys who are making all the money that's harming this team moving forward, right? So the guys that are making all the money where CEO Eric Grupner said, yeah, we got to cut back on payroll next season. We have to do that. Well, the dudes who are locked in for next year, and I'm talking about Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, $20 million and $16 million respectively for 2024. Manny Machado's kind of been playing half the time, and when he is playing, he's only DHing because of that elbow injury. He's due to make $17 million next year. Jake Cronenworth due to make $7.2 million. Like, none of those guys have had consistent playing time during this mega win streak that the Padres have been on. So when you're doing it with guys who aren't making anything, and you're heading into next year to get the guys back who are making everything, what does that really say about this team? Because when the guys who are making everything next year in terms of your payroll aren't playing right now, why is that going to give me positive vibes about them coming back next season?
It's not. I mean, the problem is look at the Padres of last year. That they came in, they went on a tear, get to the NCLS. That didn't carry over into the next season. So, I mean, you have this 6-month span where things start to change. I know there's some different players out there. There's a different mix, but there should have been more talent out on the field where, the talent alone should have got you wins, not just we weren't able to gel until the end of the season. Where this gets frustrating is it brings up so many questions.
Yeah,
at least if they would have just tanked, you would have had answers. Okay, it didn't work. We have to trade out some pieces. If you go on this run in September, and which, by the way, I understand that they had the best record in baseball in September, but I wasn't feeling it. I didn't know it because they were always playing catch up. So now, as they go on the run and they're at the end of the season, they could make the postseason if some miraculous thing happened and they were able to pull it out, or the other teams lose, or whatever it is, all the pieces that have to fall. Now you sit here and go, well, wait a minute here. Do we want to make any changes? I mean, my gut's like, hell yeah, we want to make changes, because guess what? This was not a fun season.
Mhm.
This was not fun. September wasn't even fun.
And Travis, I think the reason that you're not feeling it in the month of September is because of the articles that have come out. So we saw the Kevin Acee one about Manny Machado, and that one was a bombshell, even though it's stuff that everyone's kind of been hinting at over the last year and a half, but it was bad. And then the Dennis Lynn article about AJ Preller, calling him a micromanager, talking about some of the hires he's made in building, that was bad. And it brought Padre fans down again. And then yesterday, Kevin Acee, who, again, we have on the show at 8 o'clock today, put out another article releasing details of the Bob Melvin, AJ Preller relationship. In fact, someone in the building called it a civil war. And while some people pushed back on it because, whoa, civil war, that's a little harsh, other people just nodded like, yeah, that's about right. It's a civil war. Like, it's insane what's happening off the field with this team that's taken away from what's happened on the field with this team.
Well, Fletch, I lean more toward what Travis is saying, that even if there was no publicly known discord, even if there were no reports, which you knew there were going to be, this was all inevitable, that there was going to be some sort of infighting, or, rumors were going to come out about a bad clubhouse culture, which they did. And, at this point now, it seems to be focused on this AJ Preller, Bob Melvin, which one's going to get fired this offseason
Acee
conversation.
said Seidler wants to bring both of them back.
So, I mean, I guess there would be a major hatchet to be buried before that would even be a possibility.
There
But
is supposed to be a massive cage match within 24 hours after the last game of the season where there's going to be investors in Peter Seidler's bank, whatever. There's going to be everybody there, CEO Eric Grupner, Bob Melvin, AJ Preller in a room, and they're going to say, figure it out.
well, I thought you were going to talk about between AJ Preller and Bob Melvin, which I would pay a lot of money for on pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Remember when they were touting
Bob would kick
Zuckerberg?
his ass.
Well, you say that, but AJ Preller, he goes out and he hoops a lot. Like,
Yeah.
this guy tries to keep in shape.
It's
You know
true.
how big Bob Melvin is?
Bob's a big boy. Well, age isn't on his side anymore. I'm just saying, if it came to fisticuffs between AJ Preller
And
and Bob
AJ's
Melvin.
probably a biter. I can imagine.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, you're just going to throw that baseless claim out there.
I'll tell you what, Rich, Fletch, the reason I wasn't feeling it is because coming into September, I mean, they were probably 8.5 games out of a playoff spot. The Dodgers had just about locked up the West here. I mean, there was so many things that were against the Padres even looking like they had a decent team. So the best record in baseball still brought them to 3, 4, 5 games left of the season, and they're I'm just talking about days ago, and they're still 5 games back, 5.5 games back just a couple days ago. So the whole year has been a struggle.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't really finish the thought.
Oh.
Yeah, we saw all of the things that were inevitable that were happening that eventually came out about the Padres. But I agree with what you were saying earlier, Travis, that this team still disappointed us so much with just what happened on the field that I really don't know if I would have been able to enjoy the month of September the way that we all should be able to enjoy month of September with this team, because you knew it was a slog toward inevitability. You knew that there was real problems with this team and they weren't going to get over to the other side. Yeah, so we haven't gotten to this story yet, but this broke yesterday afternoon. The Portland Trailblazers traded guard Damian Lillard alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo out in Milwaukee as part of a 3-team deal that also include the Phoenix Suns. That was announced yesterday. I want to say it was like right around noon.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the breaking news. Jason McIntyre broke in with Colin. I was listening to our station yesterday. And yeah, this is huge for the Bucks. I mean, it felt like they were going to lose Giannis. And the Greek Freak says, well, if you get me Dalla Dame, I'm sticking around. And so that's exactly what they did.
That's the funny part about the NBA now, right? It's like if a superstar starts complaining, it's either, well, they're leaving or the team is going to make some huge changes to fix it. And so that's what the Bucks did. Credit to them. I think I'm a Bucks fan.
Okay, how about this? Ronald Acuna Jr. stole a base last night. Actually, he stole his second base in the 10th inning of a hard matchup between the Braves and the Chicago Cubs. That was Acuna's second of the night and his 70th of the season, making him the first Major League Baseball player to hit 40 home runs and steal 70 bases.
Like 70 is a massive number. And I saw a tweet yesterday. I haven't verified if this is true, but it was from a beat reporter for the Braves. And it was talking about the fact that the wild thing about him being the part of the 70-40 club and the only person to ever do it is that no one's in the 60-40 club.
Yeah, dude. Well, so now you're going to start hear people talking about this more this offseason. Do we need to put an asterisk next to Acuna's stats because they made the bases bigger, which made the running path between first and second and third a lot shorter, so stealing bases is easier now than it ever has been. It's just so dumb. It's like, look, I mean, if you go all the way back to the first baseballs, the first bats, I mean, they were literally tearing tree branches down and hitting with those. So everything's changed about baseball. I'd give it to him. This is an unbelievable season. 40-70. There need be no asterisk next to this record. That is one of the most impressive things I've ever heard of. And he's one of the most impressive players in baseball right now, and a young player at that. All right, moving on to more fertile grounds for us here. We got Thursday Night Football, boys.
Woo!
Got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. So I don't know. At first blush, what do you think of this? You have a red-hot Green Bay Packers team. You have a Lions team that looks like they're going to be making good on the promise of last year that they'll be in playoff contention. So who wins? Is it Jared Goff and this red hot offense, or is it Jordan Love and his red hot offense?
I actually think this has potential to be the best primetime game of the season so far. I do think these teams are incredibly evenly matched. It's an NFC North battle, all blah, blah, blah. Jordan Love hasn't played in primetime yet in the NFL. I am very curious to see how he looks under the bright lights.
Didn't he start a Sunday Night Football game last year?
I meant this season. I don't know about last year.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure maybe against the Raiders. I could be mistaken, but I feel like it was a Sunday nighter.
I kind of meant with the Packers as his team.
Yeah.
And so now the Packers are his team. He's going into primetime. Packers fans, by the way, in love with Jordan Love. Like, they really, really like him right now. Can he step up and be as good as he's been through the first 3 weeks? Can he continue the big numbers? Can he continue the wins? They are getting Aaron Jones back, who the offense mainly feeds through. I'm just curious to see what he looks like.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love's going to be just fine. I think it will be a good matchup. I mean, these teams do look like they are very evenly matched. Jordan Love, man, he's a pretty cool cat. I mean, he seems fine to me. I don't think the bright lights of primetime are going to phase him one bit. I feel like Green Bay wins this game.
Geez, yeah. Start of the season, just think about how we were looking at this game between the Lions and the Packers. We all would have said in unison, Lions. Like, that's how much can change over 3 weeks of an NFL season. Jordan Love has looked strong in all of his performances. He, in my opinion, is probably one of the brightest young, I don't want to say stars, but young quarterbacks in this league based on what he's been able to do. I mean, I'm looking at some of his stats here, and I mean, it's not popping off the page yet. You're not saying to yourself, like, my goodness, like, this is Aaron Rodgers-esque. It's not, but it's a start. Like, it's somewhere for Green Bay to have terra firma where they thought they might be in quicksand, and that's excellent because I really saw this NFC North being a one-horse race, and it's not. The Green Bay Packers are posing a threat. When I was watching him at Utah State compete in the Mountain West and before the Packers drafted him, I did not have the same feelings about, Love that I did, for example, Josh Allen when I was watching him at Wyoming. But he has developed into a player. And the reason I think, and it's a big reason why, is because Aaron Rodgers was the starting quarterback for a long time in Green Bay, and he's learned a lot as a result of being in the room with him.
Which was the same reason I think a lot of people credit Aaron Rodgers with sitting under Brett Favre, even though that relationship was a little chalky at times. Like, I think it really aided Aaron in becoming the person he was. Now, the thing with the Packers, their habit of doing this, it seems like it works, and it makes you wonder why more teams don't. And the only reason I can think of is because more teams don't have a Hall of Famer getting ready to pass the torch to somebody, or most teams aren't patient enough. I just don't understand how the Browns, the Jets, some of these bottom feeders of the NFL over the last decade and a half or so are so impatient with quarterbacks, where the Packers and the Steelers, for that matter, are able to just kind of wait on a guy and let him marinate and let him stew and let him learn and then work his way up and have success pretty much immediately.
Well, the Steelers, I mean, look, even on a terrible season or a bad season, it's still a winning record. So they're still winning games. So teams like the Browns, or I can't remember who else you listed off there, but there were
Jets.
I mean, these are losing teams with the fan base that's going, what the hell? How come we can't ever win? So even if these teams like the Steelers, who have a not so great quarterback in their system, they're figuring out ways to at least put wins on the board and just not look terrible every single year for this fan base.
Yeah, and then you look at the Detroit Lions. Like, I'm still enthusiastic about Detroit. Like, I think Detroit's a very, very good football team. Like, I really do. And I think that the Detroit Lions, especially after the NFL opener, knocking off the Kansas City Chiefs, and I realized they were without two of their biggest and brightest stars, and you see what the Chiefs look like now. Granted, their last game was against the Bears, so you got to take a lot of things in context. And then, yeah, also, the tight end is dating one of the biggest superstars in the world, T. Swift and Kelsey.
Allegedly. That's a hoax.
Wait a second. Okay, back to this. Is it really a hoax?
Sorry, we don't need to get into this.
If you just Google,
I don't want to get into this.
Just derailed the whole thing.
I'm so over Taylor Swift.
Look at the way Travis Kelsey looked up at that sweet
Yeah.
when she was up in there. Just look at his eyes and look at his smile.
And
That
look at the way
is love.
the camera was perfectly on the up angle at him. Like it's just the stars aligning. It doesn't happen in real life, and it's happening here. And it's
Wait a
BS.
second.
I
Wait a
can't wait
second.
till they get married and this gets thrown right in your face.
Ben is always the guy who's like, wait, guys, we have one good thing, like, Chiefs game, and you have another good thing, like, love and Taylor Swift at the game with Mama Kelsey. You put them together. That's two good things together. And that's really good because it's more than one.
Wait.
And now you've turned into the negative guy.
How
How
long
did that happen?
I
how
love
long-
love.
Hold
Real
on,
love.
hang on.
This is BS.
No,
Love.
no, no.
Uh,
I love love. I love love. You don't love love. You know what you love? Nothing. Your heart is dark. It's black. It's evil.
I love my dog.
I don't even know if that's true. I mean, you could say that all you want. That dog is adorable, though. I don't think anybody.
Very true. How long do Taylor Swift relationships usually last?
I'm gonna say under a year,
Oh, I thought more than 6 weeks.
probably.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
It'll make it through the season, I bet.
Okay.
She's going to the game this weekend,
Yes,
so that she
that's
can make
confirmed.
more money.
Because
is
she's
confirmed.
in love.
Because Travis's jersey sales need to go up to 800%, 400%. It's just not enough.
I'm just saying, like, let's say
he needs another million downloads on his latest podcast. It's so nauseating.
No, dude,
why?
this
Because things are going well
Because
for him?
it's working for them, and everyone is just eating out of their hands, like my dog eats out of my
But
hand.
why can't it be real?
yeah.
Because it's BS. It's fake. Everything is too good. Nothing is this
No,
good.
Ben's like one of these guys who's like, "Oh, the Earth is flat. The moon landing was fake. I mean, space isn't real. Birds are fake." Like, I mean,
First of all, birds are fake.
no, that's not true. They're not robots sent by the CIA. We've debunked this already on this show. Look,
But where do they go when they die?
Where do they go when they die?
Where do
I
they
can't tell
go?
you how many seagulls I've run over on the bridges heading back to Pacific Beach because they just get smacked by windshields flying too low.
Yeah, you never see sparks? Come on now.
Not once.
Can we think about how many beautiful trees there are all over this
Dude,
planet,
I
and
s-
birds insist on charging themselves on electrical wires?
You remind
Travis is getting convinced. Look at him.
You just reminded me. I one time saw a seagull pick up like a full-on Molson out of a trash can at the beach and was drinking in large gulps. Like its tiny little beak was like just holding on to the can, and it was just. I mean, you could even hear gulps. It was like it was making all these weird sounds, and then got the beer can stuck in its beak and kind of had to slam it against the side of the trash can before flying away. He wasn't.
Seagulls can't burp. That's a problem.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's the reason why you can't give birds rice.
Or Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, you never want to feed them the Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, you would never want to give a
Even
robot
those.
Alka-Seltzer either, because we know what happens based on birds, right,
Short
Ben?
circuit.
Wait. If it was a robot and it ate the Alka-Seltzer, why would it foam up? Why would there be fluid in the robot's stomach?
Okay, I appreciate you playing along. I don't actually think birds are fake. That was more of a
I know. I was just throwing it out there.
All right, how about this?
the whole
Just-
flat
I
Earth
was
thing though.
playing
That
along
has some
as well.
merit.
We didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
We didn't get to this earlier, but we should, and we should apply it to a different sport. Why is it that it always happens in the NBA and never in the NFL? We'll get to that next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Some big moves in the NBA. How come cool stuff like this never happens in the NFL? We'll talk about it next.
This update is presented by Macy's Backstage. We're begin here with the Padres. They got their first extra innings win of the season last night over the Giants 5-2. Somehow Padres still magically alive in the postseason conversation. Here's how they get in. They need to sweep the White Sox. The Marlins and Cubs need to lose each of their last 4 games. The Reds need to lose 2 of their games in the series against the Pirates. In the NBA, blockbuster trade yesterday as the Damian Lillard saga in Portland has come to an end. He will join the Milwaukee Bucks, creating the newest NBA super team. And in the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight between the Packers and the Lions in Green Bay. It kicks off week 4 of the NFL season. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under, like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
It's Big Rich, Cheaty, and Fletch. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're hearing Guns N' Roses because we still have a pair of tickets to go see Guns N' Roses. They're going to be at Snapdragon Stadium this Sunday. Alice in Chains will be there as well. You can try to go to Ticketmaster.com for tickets and info, or you can keep listening for your chance to win. Also, a $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza to celebrate San Diego Restaurant Week. It's going on now through October 1st with over 100 of San Diego's finest dining establishments, a diverse range of cuisines from farm to table to international flavors, multi-course menus starting at just $20. Visit SanDiegoRestaurantWeek.com.
These work better when they're on.
Microphones, that is?
Yeah, that's correct.
It happens.
So blockbuster trade, Dame Lillard goes to the Bucks to Milwaukee to play alongside the Greek Freak. And obviously the Phoenix Suns involved as well. We'll get to all that side of it. But kind of out the gates, what reminded me of, well, I should say what I was reminded of after hearing this news break yesterday was the fact that we were just talking about big trades in the NFL that could potentially save seasons. You know, you look at the New York Jets and you think to yourself, like, all they need is a quarterback. They went out and got one this offseason in trade from Green Bay, and it's becoming something that's a little bit more, I would say, acceptable, I guess is the word. It's more in vogue in the NFL to trade for a quarterback like Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos, but it all happens in the offseason. Is this going to be the year we see a blockbuster trade in the NFL the same way we see all the time happen in the NBA.
Now, it'd probably have to be a quarterback, right? In order for it to be a big blockbuster, because
I would think,
yeah,
yeah.
I do too. There's a situation going on in Indianapolis right now where we got some news yesterday about Jonathan Taylor. He's eligible to return to the Colts.
Home improvement.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
the one.
it's Jonathan Taylor
Okay,
Thomas.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Jonathan Taylor, running back, is eligible to return to the Colts after week 4 because he was on the PUP list to start the year, but he's already made it known that he doesn't want to play for the Indianapolis Colts. So he could be moved, but I don't even know what the return would be for that for running back. The only way it's a massive haul like we saw the Portland Trailblazers get yesterday is if it's a quarterback. And I think the only one that makes sense to be is Kirk Cousins to the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like. I just don't know. Is Kirk Cousins a big enough name to be a blockbuster trade? Does that blow my mind that Kirk Cousins goes to the Jets?
I think so.
I think it well, at very least, it's kind of like dipping your toes into the same waters as the NBA. It's kind of be like, ooh, is the temperature okay?
Yeah.
We'll just do a Kirk Cousins trade.
But it's not going to be Kirk Cousins forcing his way out of Minnesota. Like, it's not going to be public like it is in the NBA, where like Damian obviously wasn't thrilled with what was going down in Portland, them never spending to put talent around him. So he says, I want out. And now it's been going on for months and months and months of him saying, I want out. And the Portland Trailblazers saying, we got to find the right partner. Maybe Miami. Now it's the Bucks. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo makes a little bit of a fuss saying, well, you guys need to do something or I want out. And just the threat of him saying, I want out, I don't think the NFL ever gets to that.
Does the NFL feel to you like it has more devoted fans to their team than the NBA? That's what it feels like to me as well.
Yeah.
And that's why these blockbuster trades probably don't happen. I mean, you don't hear Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes talking bad about their team, even if there was some problem, which it doesn't appear there is, but you just don't hear of it. You don't hear of Kirk Cousins saying, I want out. It's the Jonathan Taylors are much more rare to me of hearing these stories that I don't want to play for this team. There's a handful, and I think there'll always be a handful, but it feels like the NBA, it happens much more often.
Oh, it does. The reason why it feels that way is because it happens much more often. The NBA, this has become a league of player fluidity. This has become a league where if you buy a superstar's jersey in your city, you're taking a huge risk that guy is going to be playing for a different city sometime soon. Even the lifers, like Damian Lillard, felt like he was going to be in Portland. Now, they went and they drafted a guy who was basically his carbon copy instead of building around him. And he said, screw you, I'm out. Trade me. I know exactly what you're doing. You're grooming my successor. We do the same thing, me and this youngster out of the draft. So get rid of me. And the Portland Trailblazers, they had to oblige. Now, they allowed the initial pop of this story to fade because we were toward the end of the season into the draft. And then this displeasure with the front office took some time for them to sort out. Eventually, I guess he changed his mind on going to Miami because he could join the Greek Freak in Milwaukee. And that was the best trade package. All parties probably dissatisfied and satisfied altogether. That's what negotiations look like. So that's good, I guess, but what's bad is it sucks for the fans.
I also hope this never comes to the NFL. This style of
and that's what I'm saying. Because
willy-nilly trades, like it just one person wants out, so they're out. Because in the NFL, you do get a Patrick Mahomes, right? Who Patrick Mahomes is synonymous with Kansas City. And I think there's a little bit more pride in the NFL, too, of playing for the same team for years and years and years until you get to a Brady or Rodgers age where you can walk and everyone will be like, okay, yeah, it was probably time.
Well, we do know that wins are tied to quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a big part of it.
And there's almost a forgiveness from the fan base of like, nah, I get it, man. I've been backing you this whole time, but no championship here to this team. I understand that you're trying to find a team that you can go win a title with. I may not root for the team, but I guess I'll root for you, even though you go that way.
I feel about most fans, I think, are going to turn on Dame Lillard.
Portland fans?
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean,
whereas there were a lot of Patriot Bucks fans that year Tom Brady won the Super Bowl.
Well, yes, there were, because he lived with those people for 20 years. He won so many championships, 6 Super Bowl titles with the Patriots before moving on and winning his 7th with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Completely different situation. However, if you turned on New England radio during that time, Brady didn't have a lot of fans. That's the truth. Back in 2019, Brady didn't have a lot of New England fans. They were pissed. Now, some people were pissed at the organization. Some people were pissed at Brady, but they weren't happy with the situation. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Belichick, he got a lot of the blame served his way. Kraft even for not stepping in and changing Belichick's mind and giving him ultimately the control he's always had over this organization. But if this comes to the NFL, I think it's going to be in terms of player fluidity. I think you're going to see it less in season at the quarterback position because it's almost impossible. Even if you're a really talented quarterback like a Kirk Cousins, if all of a sudden you've switched schemes where you've been in, with the same team, the same cast of characters generally, obviously their parts switched out, but wholesale change, living in a new place, living out of moving boxes. Your wife's like, oh, the cars haven't shipped, and when are we going to get our silverware? And we're living out of boxes, Kirk, and or we're at this rental home, but it's cold and the kids are complaining, and I hate the schools here, or he's away from his kids and his family, and he's in New York, and it's like, he's on the phone and FaceTiming because the kid has the stuff, she's been up all night. Like, there's real issues in these real people's lives that lead to them playing well or not playing well.
Not of it, to mention the playbook.
Well, yeah, and I'm talking about all the personal stuff before you even get to the field.
Yeah, you know what? If the personal stuff is a mess, it's a mess on the field.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just, it's your life. If things aren't going well at home, things are not going well at work.
I'll tell you right now. I went and purchased a couch yesterday. The amount of
man, what's wrong with the beanbags?
When I said your life, I didn't point at you. I just meant like our lives as humans.
But I'm
beanbags.
I'm local. Well, one of them's up in LA, and I want to send the next one up there as well. We had these giant 7-foot beanbags we gave to the kids. We got rid of the couch. That was a failed experiment. Never do that. But yeah, yesterday we're at a furniture store, and then I leave, and I thought everything was fine. I was on the phone for 2 hours. Like it I'm telling you, it bends you. Whenever there's little roadblocks in your life where you're like, you have an obstacle here, an obstacle there, you don't quite get to do what you want to do, or you have some sort of discord going on. If you're suddenly traded from the Minnesota Vikings, where you've lived in Minnesota for 7 years, whatever it's been now since Kirk's gotten over there, and you go to New York, life changes. It's not plug and play. It's not the NBA. It's not when you can jump in all of a sudden, make jump shots for Golden State the same way you did for the Houston Rockets. Like, no, it takes a little bit more time to understand an offense, gel with your teammates, and have all 11 players doing offensively what they need to do. So we'll see.
Yeah, just all the movement around. It's taxing on your brain. It's stressful. It's exhausting.
It absolutely is. You know what isn't exhausting? Underdog fantasy. We have Thursday night football tonight, folks. We got the Green Bay Packers. We got the Detroit Lions. It's a big NFC North battle. One of these teams going to walk away 2-2, one of them 3-1 on the year, looking pretty good for either side who gets the W. Well, you could get a W too. So they have this pick'em game on Underdog Fantasy where you pick between 2 and 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on their stats for the game. It's that simple. You click in your entry, and all of a sudden you are now on path to potentially make 20 times your money. So on a $5 bet, you could make $100. So if you've never signed up for Underdog Fantasy, I want you to do this right now. Use promo code XTRA. That's XTRA at sign up, and Underdog Fantasy will double your first deposit up to $100. If you don't want to download the app, you can go to underdogfantasy.com. But when you sign up, definitely sign up with that promo code XTRA. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. So we have a Sunday night showdown between the Jets and the Chiefs, but that's not the story. We'll explain to you what is. That's next.
San Diego Sports 760, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Make sure you're listening to us on the free iHeartRadio app. That way you can take us with you wherever you go. Getting ready for work, you head out to work, jump in the car, still listening on the free iRadio app. Hop out of the car, take us into work. Everything works out perfectly. Meanwhile,
how badly do you not want to do this?
I don't want to do. I don't even know why we would do this. I have no idea how this even came up. Other than Rich, I guess last week, wait, you were supposed to bring spit cups. You brought yourself a cup of coffee.
Oh damn! Oh, yeah, but Ben has
Wait,
his
you're on the talk back.
Oh, it's okay.
So last week, Rich, I don't know how. I just all of a sudden the conversation of okay, I'm going to pick up some sea moss.
Well, I'll tell you where it
what
comes
the
from.
hell is sea moss?
Travis liked this show so much better when we were doing Next Level Fat Guy stuff.
Yeah, it was.
And it was like, oh my God, grilled cheese contest. Oh my God,
Oh my
milkshake contest.
God, yes.
The
I
one
would
day we
kill
did
for
like
that, actually.
Yeah.
Rich's weird food combinations, and there was a pickle on the table. Travis was like, I'm out. I hate you guys now. I no longer like this show.
Pickles are gross.
Pickles are not gross. I had
Tomatoes are
pickles
gross.
last night.
Onions are gross.
All these things are delicious.
Onions are what? You don't like onions?
You don't like
Ugh,
onions in
gross.
any form or fashion?
Oh no,
Dude,
batter them and fry them. I'm in.
I've had like dreams about In-N-Out's grilled onions. Like I could just eat them by themselves.
If you put grilled onions on any burger, I will just put it right in the garbage can. If you put onions on a burger,
Well,
I'll put it
here's
in
a
the
spoon
garbage
for you.
can.
Bad
If you
take.
don't like
Bad
onions,
take.
No.
you are gonna love
legit.
this gelatinous
Okay.
sea moss gel.
We need a knife or something.
Maybe this here.
If you just start unscrewing it, what happens?
Oh yeah, maybe that'll work.
Not to sound dumb, but what is sea moss? Because that does not look green.
Oh, God.
Oh
What-
my lord!
what is it supposed to be for?
Hang on a second. I want this all on video.
Why?
What does it
Travis,
smell like?
here
Hang
you
on.
go.
Okay.
Here you go.
Hang on.
Just get a shot of it when the cap comes off. Ready? Here it goes. Look at that. Yeah.
That looks like Vaseline.
That's exactly
Oh
what
my
it looks
God.
like. It looks like Vaseline.
Oh God.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Wait, hold on. I want to know why we're even doing this. What's the
Okay,
point of this?
the reason why we're doing this, Travis, is because here. Wait, hang on, I'm just gonna give you a big old spoonful.
What-
Dude,
Why? What does the spoonful have to be that big?
Yeah. They said 2 tablespoons per day. We're gonna take it in
You're
one
supposed
shot.
to swallow it.
No. You take
No, you can't. No,
Hey,
you got like a
get back here. No, come back here.
That's bunk.
Don't be a wuss.
That's
Don't
bunk,
be a wuss.
man.
It's for the internet, Ben. It's for the internet. I want to see you really squirm.
There's no way.
Oh my God, look at that. Travis took a man's bite. Hang on. Oh my God.
It smells like, again, why? What is this supposed to do for us?
Okay, hang on. So, sea moss, I'm going to read to you exactly what it says on the thing. It says sea moss gel contains 92 out of the 102 minerals that supplement human body. Sea moss gel is a great way to add extra minerals and vitamins to your diet. Okay, so check this out. There's a bunch of hot girls on the internet doing hot girl stuff. One of the things that these hot girls do is they eat sea moss gel. And so what we're going to do in our next edition of Hot Guys Doing Hot Girl Stuff is we're going to eat sea moss gel. So everybody get your phones out.
You know what it looks like?
Yes.
So you said Vaseline, Travis?
Yeah.
It looks like Vaseline if you added in a bunch of applesauce.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, because it's got some chunks to it.
It's got a real horrific consistency. Okay, so I'm going to get my scoop.
I don't want to do this.
Okay, look how big this scoop is. I'm not messing around. You guys ready?
Yep. Okay, we're doing it like on 3.
Do we have
all
to
doing
do the whole thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole thing, the whole
Why
shot.
wouldn't you do the whole thing?
Here we go.
I don't want to do this.
Dude, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh God! There's no way. Oh my God!
I can't.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm gonna throw up. I'm really good. Oh my God! My eyes are watering.
I can't swallow it. I can't swallow it. There's no way that people are eating this on the interweb.
Oh my! Why would anybody do that?
I can't do it.
Why would anybody do that?
I'm a sympathetic puker.
Holy good God.
Okay.
God, is there a pickle somewhere I can eat?
That was the worst thing we've ever done.
There's no way people eat that. There's no way people eat that.
Oh, okay.
Somebody, there's no way.
Okay, so.
Oh my God.
Sea moss gel, quick rating.
Bad. Dude, it barely touched my lips and I thought I was going to puke.
Holy smokes. Okay, so that spoonful was, I'm putting the cap on. I don't even want to look at this ever
Throw
again.
it in the parking lot. Wow.
Let's take a flamethrower to it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I did that to all of us.
That does not
Please,
does not seem like you should be putting that in your body.
Send me those videos immediately. Just airdrop them. You know where to find me.
Wow. That's terrible.
Here's the problem I have with doing that. The burps today are going to be absolutely insane.
Great. Did you swallow yours?
You guys didn't?
Yeah, totally.
You didn't?
I couldn't do it.
What happens if I die?
You're going to be the healthiest. That's all I know.
Jesus. When I swallowed it, it was almost returned to sender.
Wow.
I literally almost threw up on Travis because I turned to the left because I didn't want to. Here's my reasoning. I was like, yeah, I'll throw up on Travis. I don't want to throw up on my coffee.
I was like, all you got to do is just swallow it. Just swallow it down. And then my brain was like, it's coming back up. It's coming back up. Just so you know.
All right, so if anybody wants sea moss gel,
you don't. Nobody wants sea moss gel.
Do you have other flavors? I wanted to torture us by getting just the original, the OG sun-dried, wild-crafted superfood for sale sea moss gel. It is one of the worst things you'll ever taste, but my God, do I feel healthy now.
Oh, God.
Multiple people on YouTube commenting the puke emoji, and then Don says, eat the Pocky chip, can't be worse.
Yeah, actually,
you know what? Got a good point, Don.
At 7 a.m., we're going to bust out the one chip challenge.
Rich Ornberger, you're a monster.
Oh, my God.
God, a sea monster.
Yeah,
When you were doing
really
your
is.
little heaving thing over there, I thought
Dude, it was close.
I'm a sympathetic puker, so it would have been bad.
Oh, does that mean you go if someone else
Yeah,
goes?
yeah.
My God, man.
Okay.
That's awful.
Okay, we still have a lot of tickets left. Thank you for bearing with us for that. $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza. That's coming up next. Also, Guns N' Roses tickets to give away for an October 1st show at Snapdragon Stadium. What are we going to see out there on Thursday Night Football? We'll get you prepped. And also, Padres, Melvin, Preller. It's the war on the shore. Who lasts? We'll find out coming up next.
This update is presented by the County of San Diego, HHSA. It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, and we will start off here with the Padres. They get their first extra innings win of the season last night over the Giants 5-2. Somehow, they're still magically alive in postseason conversation. Here is the scenario for them to get in. They need to sweep the White Sox. Marlins and Cubs need to lose each of their last 4 games. Reds need to lose their series against the Pirates. I do not recommend the Padres try any CMOS. It doesn't work. It's gross. In the NBA, blockbuster trade yesterday, Damian Lillard's saga in Portland has come to a close. He will join the Milwaukee Bucks, creating the newest NBA super team. And in the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight between the Packers and the Lions in Green Bay. That kicks off week 4 of the NFL season. If you haven't gotten your updated COVID vaccine yet, make sure you do it. Getting the COVID vaccine is the safest and most effective way to protect yourself. Visit SanDiegoCounty.gov/coronavirus to schedule an appointment to get your updated COVID vaccine.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate Big Rich, TD, and
Into
Fletch.
the music.
Yeah, man, live.
Fletch running out of here right
Dude,
now.
there he
What's he
goes.
doing?
Dude, that's
Is he-
as
is
fast
he-
as I've seen him move since the, what do we call it? The Hardwood and Balls Challenge?
Well, that's faster than he moved at the Hardwood and Balls Classic.
That's unbelievable.
What's going on? Is there
Oh.
CMOS ejection?
Oh, yeah.
What's
It's
that?
just-
You think that's what it is?
I think he went to puke. Oh my God.
Wow. So we just tried some CMOS here for some unknown, ungodly reason.
I'll show you the reason
Wait.
why. You'll actually like the reason why. So so we did that. We
I
started doing.
don't think I will.
You're gonna love this, Travis. You're gonna love it. So we started doing this thing called Hot Guys Doing Hot Girl Stuff on TikTok. And it was fun. And then for whatever reason, we dropped it. Dude, I'm still struggling with the CMOS. Like every once in a while, the back, like I just get the taste back on the back of my tongue.
I'll feel like I'm like, do
Oh.
I still have some of this tucked away over in a corner of a lip somewhere or something? It's not a good mouthfeel.
So what we do is we take something that like a hot girl did on Instagram or TikTok, and then we try to do it too. And there is this one chick named, I swear to God, this I think is her name, called Mango Peach.
Okay, all right.
And she did this CMOS challenge and it went on for a while. Hang on, let me see if I can find it really quick. There you go. Is this it? No, that ain't it. Oh my God. People are actually making mango CMOS. All right. Anyways, I can't find the video. I'll show it to you later. But so anyways, this girl muscled through taking it for like 30 days. I don't know if she still does it on her TikTok account. But so we're going to splice her video with our video trying the CMOS challenge.
All right.
For anybody who is listening, don't do it. It is there's no way that's good for you. That's not based on the mouthfeel.
No. I mean, if you took a swig of 5W30, you'd have a better experience than that. It was terrible. But man, I look forward to being so much healthier now.
Yeah, me too. I can feel the gel doing its work. We have a big NFC North showdown coming up Thursday Night Football. And I think Ben accurately proposed the most important question in the opening segment of the show today, which is, well, before we get to what he has said about the Packers Detroit game, did you just go and throw up?
You'll never know.
What?
Did you really?
Wait, did you throw up?
Did you
What
puke?
did you do?
I did not puke.
Okay.
That was as fast
You
as
were like running out. And we're like, I've never seen him move this fast.
Since you played against J-Riff for the Hardwood and Balls Classic.
I'm moving a lot faster now, I'll be honest. Dropped like 20 pounds, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
We should do it again.
Oh my gosh.
But I feel terrible.
We need to have a rematch.
You know what you need to do though is work on shooting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because he was good at that and you were not. Okay, that's the reason why he has the trophy. You son of a! We would have had that prominently displayed in our office.
So J-Riff he was on fire that day. Didn't miss a shot. I went and played basketball with him like 2-3 weekends ago.
Yeah.
In a little Saturday morning game we have, and I set him up. We were on the same team.
Yeah.
To hit so many shots, and he didn't make a damn one of them.
Wow.
So it's like when he's going against me, he's great.
Hmm.
When he's on my team, he sucks.
You should
Maybe I should challenge him.
Oh my God! Yes, for the love of dear God, yes.
It's the harder wood in balls classic.
How do you guys feel right now?
I'm very uneasy.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't feel real good.
Dude, these hot women are ridiculous.
I'm trying my
Well,
hardest.
it takes a lot apparently
Yeah,
to be so hot.
guys, we're
and we are on our way.
I was about to say we are so close. We are right there. We'll be there soon.
I don't even think I swallowed any of it, and my stomach still is killing me.
I did. Because I was like, here I go, man. I'm gonna swallow the whole thing, and I would get just a little and go, not a good idea.
This is my favorite thing I think we've ever done. I'm now reliving all of this in the videos that you've sent to me.
Good
it's
Lord.
all right.
Dude, I cannot watch those videos.
So did you or did you not throw up?
I did not puke just now. I thought I might for a second.
You did run out really fast. You did run out very fast.
That's true.
Okay.
And I'm not ruling out the puke for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay, so Thursday Night Football, you said something earlier in the show that I really do think is one of the biggest tests tonight for either side.
It's Jordan Love in primetime. We haven't really seen enough of it. Now, did you look it up if he played in primetime last year?
You know what? I didn't. I
don't know if he did or didn't. He may have, but he
might have appeared like when Rodgers went down with that calf or an ankle or rib last year.
But it's different when it's your team.
Exactly.
Like Patrick Mahomes played a game in his official rookie season when the Chiefs already had it locked up. So Patrick Mahomes did play a game his rookie year, but it wasn't his team yet. Now this is Jordan Love's team. It's Jordan Love's city. It's Jordan Love's everything. And he needs to come out and perform because the Green Bay Packers have had a lot of really good primetime performers.
Yeah.
And then they've had some that just puke. So let's see it.
I'm watching this woman that Rich is showing me here eat the sea moss.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, she's she doesn't look real happy about it.
That's what Travis did.
This is exactly.
And she's crying.
Oh, see? By the way, we all had way more than that.
Oh, dude, yeah, we took. I'm very sorry. I remembered the spoonfuls being a lot bigger than
So
what
it's
they
not
actually.
2 tablespoons; it's 2 teaspoons.
I think it was probably maybe only 1 teaspoon. We took 2 tablespoons worth. So I do apologize to both
You're
of you.
the
for
only
that.
one that took it. Travis and I did not swallow.
I'm a little nervous, to be perfectly honest with you. Safety in numbers. Like I figured if we all swallowed like a big old helping of that, like worst case scenario, somebody else will do Friday's show.
Right.
Right. They're all in the hospital. Turns out they lost their limbs from a bacteria found only in sea moss gel. Like, but
I reached out to 4 or 5 different cheese places out in Green Bay. No one responded to me.
Yeah, this is where your
pop
brain
quiz.
goes. Yeah.
How do you know if a cheese curd is a good cheese curd?
If it squeaks when you chew it.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never chewed one.
Oh, dude.
What? Oh my, cheese curds are so good.
They don't look good.
No,
they look like they should be sea moss.
Okay, that's how you feel about onions. And then when you deep fry them, you're like, oh no, onions are cool. Like same thing with cheese curds. Like cheese curds, you look at cheese curds, you're like, that is the most foul, disgusting thing I've ever seen. But then they go, wait, whoa. We're gonna bread these and fry them. And then you're like,
hold on. I have had a breaded and fried one.
Oh,
and,
good.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
I have had that.
The regular ones are good too.
Like
if you get them from Milwaukee.
I don't know. I've never had them. I couldn't tell you. I don't think I would. Well, actually, then again,
Dude,
I just
do you know that
2 tablespoons of sea moss gel. So yes, I would. Obviously.
Wisconsin produces 26% of the U.S. cheese that is, and if Wisconsin was its own country, it would be the 4th largest cheese manufacturer in the world.
Travis, what are you doing? You're giving away all our tailgate trivia questions.
Oh, that's
we're not doing. Are we doing a cheese?
No. We don't have to do a cheese. Actually, tailgate trivia tomorrow. What I liked is putting whoever comes into the room with us on the spot, on the hot seat.
Right. That is true. Maybe we should have the contestant pick a player.
Yeah, Michael Busalaki was the
he nailed it.
Dude, he went 3 for 3.
You know what he would not have given us? Sea moss.
No, guys, again, I'm sorry only slightly because I really do think this is going to be one of our funniest videos. Anyways, so Thursday Night Football, Jordan Love, huge test on primetime for him. Jared Goff, been there a million times. The Lions, they're one of these teams that they are tricky out, man, because their defense is better than you thought, or at least I thought they were going to be coming into this season. Aiden Hutchinson is a problem.
And CJ Gardner-Johnson, is that his name? The dude that talks all the smack?
Yeah.
Like, he's a dog on the field,
So
man.
you have Hutchinson up front, rushing the edge. You got CJ Gardner-Johnson in the defensive backfield. You've got this thing hemmed up pretty tight. You got some pretty good linebackers, by the way, in Detroit as well. And then on the offensive side, all the things that you've seen and know about this team, and they're going to get Gibbs more involved in this offense as the season ticks forward. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, like they've got weapons. What's his name? The tight end. He's good too. Like
Sam Lapuerta.
Yeah, Lapuerta. He just got his first touchdown. Really awesome. By the way, Ben Johnson as a offensive coordinator, really awesome thing. They had Jared Goff roll out to his non-throwing side. And then they had Laporta run a route that you don't typically run when you're booting a quarterback out to his non-throwing side.
He was wide open.
Yeah, usually you have a post, or not a post. Usually have a corner, some sort of deep intermediate outbreaking route, something like, in the flat where if you need to dump it off real quick. But instead of Laporta running the corner, he went to the opposite corner of the field. Jared Goff hit him in stride for 6. It was a beautiful play design.
So I'm looking at some underdog values for tonight, and they have this game as a little bit of a shootout, which I guess it shouldn't surprise me. Neither of these defenses are totally up to snuff yet, but like Detroit's defense is better than I thought, and they're giving Jordan Love 252 passing yards.
And that's on the underdog app?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like 252 is quite a bit for Jordan Love, who their offense runs mostly through that run game between Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
They're begging you to take
the higher. They want you to take the higher.
I get questionable about it.
Dude, I want to take the higher on that one. I'm going to click the. I know. Well, listen, but this is why this is fun. Also, if you want to talk some betting lines, the spreads at, I think the Detroit lines are dog by 2. And the total, the over-under is 45. Now, that to me is a tricky line too. So do you take the over 45? I mean, we just finished talking about this Detroit Lions much improved defense. We know the Packers.
What'd you say the spread was?
The -2 for the
Lions are favored.
Excuse me, -2. What did I say? They were dog?
Yeah.
Favored. -2 for the Lions.
So Lions are 2-point road favorites, which on primetime is a big deal. And that would be a situation where people would tell you to smash the Packers.
Yep. Short week to prepare, home team. And by the way, I think this is like, it's split down the middle for me, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I don't really think home field advantage matters as much for a quarterback who hasn't played at his home field all that much. Man, this is what we were hoping for. Now we're gonna all get really excited for a great football game tonight.
Blowout,
and it's going. Somebody's gonna get beat by 30, and it's gonna be 21-0 at halftime.
It's either a blowout and like you said, 21-0 at halftime, or it's gonna finish 6-3.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, it'll be like, and it'll be sloppy, like fumbles and interceptions everywhere you look.
By the way, over the weekend, the Rams-Bengals game, I didn't realize it. Oh no, I'm sorry, it was Monday night, right? That was Monday night.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. Yeah, because I was flipping back and forth. I didn't see it. There was a fair catch called on the opening second half kickoff on the 13-yard line.
People hate it.
It sucks.
I called it. You both said it wouldn't be that big of a deal if we go back to our preseason conversation.
Yeah.
It isn't a big deal for the most part, but that one situation, I'm like, oh, this is bull.
Yeah, that is a boring way to go with that play.
Well, so kickers who don't have the leg to really kick touchbacks every time, which if you're in the NFL, you should, but there are some kickers struggle with it still. They're just accurate from field goal and extra point. What you can do is you can sky one. So if you get used to putting a lot of loft under a ball and having it land inside the 20, your coverage team has a lot of time to get down there. And then obviously you'll see a returner wave off the fair cap because they don't want to get their head taken off, and that's the reason why they're instituting it. Are we going to see it all that often? No, but does it kind of stink? And am I starting to change my mind a little bit? Yeah.
And fast forward to the postseason.
and how many new Taylor Swift fans were tuned in to see a great game of football? It's knotted up at 6, and then a touchback. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of guys playing with our technique and fundamentals.
Yeah, you know us. Really fundamental
That's
around
right.
here.
That's right. But hey, man, with the Bears and the Vikings stumbling to 0-3 starts, the NFC North appears to be at the hands of the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers, both entering tonight's game 2-1. If the Lions win, they would achieve something they haven't done in more than 6 years. The Lions have not held a divisional outright lead in week 4 or later since week 15 of the 2016 season. Insane. Raider fans unhappy to hear Jimmy G's status for the week remains uncertain. He's still in concussion protocol. Raiders coach Josh McDaniels reported yesterday that there has been some progress. I'm not sure exactly what that means. At the trailer park, Patrick Mahomes confirms he met Taylor Swift at the Chiefs after party, and he said she's really cool. How about that?
Oh.
I
How
think
about
she's
that?
trouble. Damn it.
See? You knew she was trouble when
It's
she walked
happening.
in.
Trailer forever.
On a recent episode of his popular podcast, Let's Go, the greatest of all time quarterback, Tom Brady, revealed that he's actually lost some weight since he left the league. He's lost 10 pounds by avoiding eating white sugar, dairy, white flour, caffeine, or iodized salt. He also makes sure that he stocks up daily on organic veggies and lean meats. And he's saying he's in the best shape of his life. So, I mean, are there any teams out there looking for a quarterback?
Yeah, best shape of his life. You know, he's sitting there, oh, I lost 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds. I'm Tom Brady. Well, guess what, Tom?
Hmm?
Your old teammate lost about 30 in the past 3 weeks.
Whoa!
Take that with your white sugar. And what else is he doing? Is it CMOS gel?
He's eating CMOS gel. He's not having salt, no white flour, no caffeine, no dairy. This is so boring.
Guess what? I'm doing most of those things. Actually, I'm following a very similar diet right
exactly
now.
very similar.
I'm intermittent fasting. But Tom, screw you.
Yeah.
Okay, bragging. Check this out. Look,
My
yeah.
gosh. There is one.
One. I got
One
one.
app.
I
There's
got
one.
one.
Wait,
Whoa!
Ben's got a 4-pack.
Dude, look, his pants don't even fit anymore.
That's
Dude,
incredible.
we're gonna be so hot with
After
all
that
this CMOS.
So good. So good.
Oh,
Man.
Tom's
man.
like just the all rightest of all time. He's
Yeah.
no longer the GOAT.
yeah.
He's
You
the most mediocre of all time.
You are the AOAT, the I of all
Aota.
time, the aota.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of rumors circulating about the Padres.
Oh, wait. There's one more injury, Trav, that people might care about. Austin Eckler, he practiced yesterday, not up to 100% yet, hopeful to go this weekend.
Wow.
Okay, all
Well, I'll
right.
tell you what was impressive about that win, even though Brandon Staley and Kellen Moore tried their hardest to lose that game for the Chargers on the road against Minnesota. What was impressive about that game is they won playing man down offense. Like Austin Eckler is an enormous piece of what makes that
It was
engine
like
go.
75% of their offense last year.
And you could tell the difference in the run game. I mean, they could not run the ball against the Minnesota Vikings. If Eckler's out there, I promise you they finish with more than less than 40 rushing yards on the game. It's so that was an impressive win when you rewind and you think about it, but they did try to give it away like 3 times within the last minutes.
They didn't have their starting running back who's been a stud for years, and they still tried to run the football when they haven't been able to run it all night.
Enough of it.
God.
Okay. Padres. But yeah, Eckler might be back. So if you're starting him in fantasy, that's something to look at this weekend. Padres rumors are circulating everywhere. And so there's headlines. Look, I have no idea what to believe yet. Now, we have Kevin Acee on the show every single Wednesday of the Major League Baseball season. We moved him to Thursday today because we wanted to talk to him after this most recent series and really have an idea of what they're looking at with their last 3 games of the year.
And this most recent article.
And this
I
most
think
recent
Kevin
article.
may have done us a favor by waiting a day to release the article so we could talk about it.
Exactly. So you'll hear from Kevin Acee, and he's speaking to the fact, and I think now we're starting to see discussion, and there's 2 sides of the discussion. Will they or won't they keep Preller and Melvin together? Will one of them walk? Or, and by the way, walk, I put that in air quotes. Anybody who's thinking that anybody's voluntarily walking away from a job that pays them millions of dollars, doing something that they love to do, miss me with all that. Nobody's voluntarily leaving their position, but you may have a situation where the room has gotten so hot in temperature. The tempers have flared up so high it is untenable. And so can they fix it, I guess, is the problem, or will somebody have to go?
And Rich, in Kevin's article that he released yesterday, find it at the SDUT, he said that someone in the building was quoted as saying it's a civil war between Bob Melvin and AJ Preller. Now, a lot of people were like, that might be a little too harsh. And then a lot of people were like, yeah, apt description. He also mentioned that following the season, within 24 hours of their final game in Chicago, there is going to be a closed-door meeting between some executives, between CEO Eric Grupner, and between Bob Melvin and AJ Preller. And in that meeting, it's probably going to get decided whether one of them leaves, whether both of them leaves, whether both of them stay. Kevin has gotten word that Peter Seidler would prefer both of them to stay.
You know, Travis, like everybody who cares about this team watched the majority of these games this season. I mean, you see more of Bob Melvin, right? You know, you get to hear him post game every single night after a loss or a win. We don't hear as much from AJ Preller. Do you think that might slant our opinion in favor of one guy who we know? Like we truly know Bob Melvin. We've heard from him now. I mean, if you rewind the clock, over 400 something times over the past 2 seasons as San Diego Padres fans, because he's interviewed every single game. It's a ton of games, including the postseason last year. So my point is, do you feel a kinship with him more so as a result of that?
Oh, 1,000,000%. Yeah. I mean, it's, Bob kind of feels like he is, he's your buddy, or, you're, or maybe one of your dad's friends where you like the guy, he's funny, he's cool. He just seems kind. Meanwhile, AJ Preller, he's kind of the Wizard of Oz. I mean, he's the guy behind the curtain. Is he evil? I don't know. I mean, maybe from what we hear, it kind of sounds like it, but he may be the nicest guy in the world. We don't know because we don't have him out in front of the camera talking all the time. And unfortunately, a lot of the times when AJ Preller gets involved, it's because there's something negative, and that's what's tied to him. So I'm sure that's part of the slant, the skew, when you start to think about who would you like to see stay, who would you like to see go. And also, I mean, like you said, we all know when someone has said they're going to voluntarily leave, like, he's not going to voluntarily leave.
No.
He may say it for the niceties, but we all know. We all know what's happening.
I agree with you. I think that I wouldn't go as far to say anything negative necessarily about AJ Preller, the guy, because I don't know the person. I've been over to Petco Park and I've spent time with executives and the owner and with the players and have spent a lot of time with people in the Padres galaxy. I've never met AJ Preller in person once. I think I've only ever had a conversation. I've been broadcasting in San Diego since 2016 with him one time, once. It's one of those things where he's a little bit enigmatic. He's a little bit mysterious. He's a little bit behind the scenes. Like you said, there is that Wizard of Oz feel. Who's pulling the lever behind the curtains, and who is he allowing to help him do that? The reporting that's coming out about Preller is largely negative.
Some guy named Bob Trickler is the guy who's allowed to do that. That's the spy.
Right. Some guy that he brought in from like Australian rugby who apparently just like sits in on meetings
and is making like $400,000 a year, by the way.
Look, there's a lot of money in baseball. So but what it tells you is he's important to AJ Preller. And there's a reason why he's being compensated.
I'd be a spy for $400,000.
Yeah, to say, is there an opening?
Yeah, I will say, if Trickler, if he's one of the guys who's ousted, can we all three of us
we'll split $400,000?
And I have always said how much I love AJ Preller.
It's $133,000 a piece. I want you to sit in all the meetings, and please this time do not fall asleep. Travis, you snore.
We can't hear the microphone that you have taped to your chest. We're good at this.
This is the best. All right. I want to talk to you about the San Diego County Toyota dealers. Let me rewind you back to 2017. We went on a road trip to the East Coast. We were, going from Boston through Connecticut to New York and all the way back. We're visiting a bunch of family back there. We rented a Toyota 4Runner. And I realized halfway through the trip that Annie wasn't car sick. She gets car sick in every single car. I was like, oh my gosh, we got to get a Toyota. She was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I think I'm not car sick at all. And so as a result of that trip, within a month, I'm not kidding, I went to a Toyota dealer down in Chula Vista, and I bought my first Toyota. So that's what you should do as well, especially if you're sitting in your car and you're having constant breakdowns. If you're sitting in your car and you want to up your game from an entertainment system standpoint, if you want a smoother ride, they're electrified vehicles, by the way, if you're interested in going green or saving on gas, they're absolutely awesome. And Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup of vehicles, they're for you. I drive around in a Prius this weekend at my mother-in-law's. It's incredible. But the 4Runner's our family car, super reliable. So if you're in the market, I want you to head to any of your San Diego County Toyota dealers and head to toyota.com to see the full line of inventory. They have the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs available to look at there. Okay, coming up next on the show, we got to get to this. It is a Thursday, so we must ask you a question. We need a listener contestant on the line. So 844-570-1360. We play Must Ask You a Question for either Prince Street Pizza gift card or Guns N' Roses tickets. That's next. We've got a gift card to Prince Street Pizza coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
All right, this update is presented by Macy's Backstage. Starting off with the Padres, they get their first extra innings win of the season last night over the Giants 5-2. By the way, there's only 3 games left, so not all that impressive. And somehow Padres still magically alive in the postseason conversation. Here's the scenario for them to get in. They need to sweep the White Sox. Marlins and Cubs need to lose all of their last 4 games. Reds need to lose their series against the Pirates. AJ Cassavell has a full breakdown. That's the best I can do. In the NBA, blockbuster trade yesterday, Damian Lillard's saga in Portland has come to an end. He will join the Milwaukee Bucks, creating the newest NBA super team. And in the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight between the Packers and the Lions in Green Bay. That'll kick off week 4 of the NFL regular season. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under, like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Big Rich and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. And if you have a smart speaker, it knows how to find us. All you have to do is say, play San Diego Sports 760, and boom! Big Rich, TD, and Fletch will be right there in your kitchen.
Give us an example of a smart speaker and what it would do.
Well, like I would say, hey, Siri, play San Diego Sports 760. Done. It's all it takes.
Yeah. Or maybe you could say, hey, Google, could you play Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760 on the free iHeartRadio app?
Right.
And then she'll probably do it. Again, we apologize to people for waking up your devices and potentially waking up your family as a result. Because some people have it set up so like the Google Play works in every single room in the house.
Yeah.
And so like all of a sudden the children are like, why are they talking about so many mustaches, Daddy? Yeah, well, that's what we do on Thursdays. We play a little game called Mustache You a Question.
Hairy upper lip or nah? It's up to you to determine. If you want the prize, you have to play the game. It's time. We mustache you a question.
My mustache almost got real dirty today.
Yeah.
Well, are you guys feeling okay? Because I still feel terrible.
Wait, what?
I'm uneasy.
Yeah,
I'm uneasy.
I don't feel great.
Yeah.
I don't feel great.
Like, I feel like I've had one too many tequila shots.
I will say, though, the pumpkin spice coffee is tip top.
Yeah, we've got some of that pumpkin spice, just regular brew in the break room today.
Wow.
It's making me feel very fall and very festive.
It is that time. It's that time of year.
And it's also that time of week. Yes, every Thursday we play a little game show called Mustache You a Question, where we have a listener contestant join us on the show. I almost threw up.
Dude, I'm telling you, that last update it came up on.
Every time you talk about CMOS, I start having the visceral reaction that I got. My mouth is watering.
Yeah.
And I did the thing in the update where I was talking about the Padres playoff chances, which also makes me want to puke, and it doubled up on me.
It's the game show that's huge all across the world. I hear we're big in Oneonta, New York. Kevin joins us on the line. Kevin, our listener contestant today, is looking to win Prince Street Pizza gift card. We got a $30 gift card to go celebrate San Diego Restaurant Week. It's going on now through October 1st with over 100 of San Diego's finest dining establishments, a diverse range of cuisines, multi-course menus starting at only $20. Visit San Diego Restaurant Week.com. But Kevin, how you doing this morning, bub?
I'm doing great. There's a 0.0% chance of the Padres, right?
Still zero.
0.000157. The line over the top. I mean, I guess it could happen. You know what? Prove me wrong. I guess that'd be fun.
I would really
fun.
like that.
Yeah.
I would also like if Kevin wins today. Basically, the way the game show goes is we're going to ask Kevin a very simple question after playing him an audio clip. The question is, does the person speaking have a mustache or do they not have a mustache? Okay, Kev, do you think you're ready to play?
I hope I can do as well as I did last time for you.
Yeah,
all right.
There it goes. Okay,
like
multiple time. Yeah, I knew that voice was familiar. Right. Okay, so Kevin, here you go. Here's clip number 1.
All right, listen up, y'all. I'm y'all substitute teacher, Mr. Garvey. I taught school for 20 years in the inner city. So don't even think about messing with me. Y'all feel me? Let's take a roll here. Jay Quellen. Where's Jay Quellen at? No Jay Quellen here? Okay. So that's how it's going to be. Y'all want to play. Okay, then. I got my eye on you, Jay Quellen.
Hey, Ron.
Hey,
Hey,
Ron.
Ron.
Yeah.
You take your butt down to Oshag Financial's office right now.
Yes,
Kevin.
Kevin, a big fan of the substitute. So we must ask you the question: does that voice have a mustache?
Yeah, he does in that clip.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yeah, kind of a pencil thin mustache. Looks
It is-
real nice.
It's
Yeah.
fake.
Well, of course, of
Well,
course.
yeah, but it's a
mean,
mustache.
But everything on TV is, to a certain extent, is fake.
Wait, is it fake when the hot girls eat the sea moss?
No, that is very real. I found that on TikTok,
about-
and that's the
What
reason.
about when the hot girls have the mustache? Is that fake?
Well,
Yeah. No, I mean,
If
well,
you're lucky.
wait.
we prefer it that way, Kevin. We're sickos.
That's right.
Actually,
That's
that time, I mean, I'll tell you what. I wouldn't mind a little.
Sometimes I don't even notice that
I'm
there's a
just, I'm
mustache.
just saying, little,
Yeah.
little fuzz on the peach. Never
All
stopped
right,
me.
baby.
Let's see how the juice is.
Clip number 2.
Okay, hang on. Okay, clip number 2.
There are some people who have charm and some people who don't. Guess which type I am? Charm type.
Was that Fletch?
Shut up.
I don't know. You heard the voice there, Kevin. And we must ask you a question. Does that voice have a mustache?
This is one where I'm not sure what that's from, so I'm gonna have to take a guess. I'm gonna go no mustache.
I nailed it. You nailed it. That was Kevin from The Office.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay,
So
yeah. No, that totally makes sense.
you are off to a 2-0 start,
Jeez.
Kevin. One
Nicely
more
done.
correct answer, and you win yourself a $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza. So we'll do it maybe for the last time today. We must ask you a question and play for you clip number 3.
I just kept hearing it. I'm ducking and everything. Died in the house. I got scared. I dropped my hot pocket.
He did. He did indeed.
He
And
dropped his hot pocket.
sometimes that's a fate worse than death.
Wow.
Kevin, does that person speaking have a mustache or no mustache?
Oh man, I am trying to go through my mind palace right now. Back to that viral video. I feel like they have a mustache.
First one you got wrong. Yes.
Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie.
Shaven.
Yeah.
Definitely no mustache.
Just like
there.
the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions, Kevin is now at 2-1 on the season here.
That's right. That's right. So here it is. Clip number 4.
I buy the Hot Pockets. I go in grocery stores. I'm like, yeah, I get these. I've never eaten a Hot Pocket and then afterwards been, I'm glad I ate that. I'm always like, I'm going to die. I paid for that? Did I eat it or rub it on my face? My back hurts. Ow. I was looking at a box of Hot Pockets. They have a warning printed on the side. Said, warning, you just bought Hot Pockets. Hope you're drunk or heading home to a trailer.
Kevin, very recognizable voice. If you're into stand-up comedy, he's been doing it for a very long time. Does that voice, though, have a mustache?
No, he did not have a mustache.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
He didn't have a mustache. He was a little bit unshaven, but he did not have.
Wow.
a
Okay.
mustache.
See. Wait, hang on
Yeah.
with the buzzer there, Ben, because we had this same conversation. I said no mustache. Rich said mustache.
Yeah.
Would you like to look up Jim Gaffigan right now? Beyond the Pale is what that's from. Take a look, and you tell us and Kevin, you have the final decision.
Okay. All right, Kevin. So it all comes down to he's doing research using the Google, and he's looking very closely at the camera.
Real close
He's
to the
taking this
screen.
very seriously.
He's looking at the.
It looks mustache like to me. Now I'm not going to try to push the vote one way or another. I'm just going to
because I definitely said no mustache.
Okay.
I can see both sides.
But
if you can see both sides, that means there is hair on the upper lip, and that is a
Wow.
not a
wow.
no.
Okay. No problem.
I can see it right now. That's mustache.
Okay, get the buzzer again.
okay.
If you look up Jim Gaffigan mustache,
Kevin, we make the rules.
Kevin,
I'm on Kevin's side on
I
this.
understand you are, but in the interest of time, we're going to give you a very easy clip coming up next.
Here we go. Here's your final clip, Kevin. Stand by. It's 2-2. Here we go. Clip number 5. Maybe.
Jerry, what if I want to be a married guy like you? What do I got to have if I want to be a married guy? I'll tell you what you got to have. You better have some answers, buddy. You better have some answers for that woman. Women have a lot of questions. Their brains are strong, active, and on high alert at all times. You're sleeping. She's researching.
All right. So this feels like a layup. I'm going to give you a hint if you don't know, Kevin.
Yeah.
This gentleman has never changed his facial hair situation.
He's never changed it. Jerry Seinfeld does not have a mustache.
I think we have a winner. Congrats, Kevin. Nicely done. You just won yourself a $30 gift card to Prince Street Pizza to celebrate San Diego Restaurant Week. It's going on now through Sunday with over 100 of San Diego's finest dining establishments, a diverse range of cuisines, from farm to table to international flavors, multi-course menus starting at just $20. But hey, man, you got $30. How about that? Visit SanDiegoRestaurantWeek.com. Kevin, how you feeling, buddy?
Feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. Hang on the line. Ben will get your info.
Wow. A stunning comeback after roaring to a start, 2-0.
I don't know if we've ever had to throw a flag on the field like that.
That felt, I mean, it
was
felt
a
like a
mustache.
challenge.
Yeah.
It was a mustache. That's what I said too. I don't know. Look, I mean, there's a ton of ways to peel this orange.
It wasn't stubble. There was length.
There was right because he's blonde. It's because a blonde mustache doesn't show up as much as a black mustache.
That's true.
You know, I mean, you can't discriminate when it comes to mustaches. Mustache. All right. Coming up next, if you had a star quarterback giving advice to another quarterback in your same conference, would you maybe call a meeting and try to reel it in? Well, that's what one team is dealing with. We'll discuss it coming up next. So Aaron Rodgers makes his Tuesday appearance on the Pat McAfee show, and usually this is what happens. He says a whole bunch of stuff, and then it takes about 2 days for the internet to catch up with what exactly he said.
I spilled coffee.
He did, yeah. Travis spilled coffee all over the hallway.
Also, hi everyone, it's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Travis spilled the coffee.
Yeah, I did. There was a mishap in the break.
Yeah. So the thing about it is it takes about 2 days for, I believe, like the sports media to catch up, because nobody's going to sit down for 30 or 40 minutes every single week and watch the entirety of the Aaron Rodgers segment on Pat McAfee. So what happens is people go back and rewatch and they listen as they do other things and go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. And he usually says about 2 interesting things per week, some of them negative, some of them positive. A lot of them, though, can be skewed either way. One of those things is the fact that he has gotten in contact with Joe Burrow, who's struggling through a calf injury. Now, this is a very friendly thing to do. He's a quarterback of many years in this league. He's obviously been playing at a high level and through certain injuries, including a calf injury. He sustained last year. Obviously, he's out for the season with an Achilles injury that was preceded by a calf injury this year. So maybe he does have some good advice, sage wisdom to pass along to Joe Burrow. But my question is, if you're Robert Saleh and you're hearing some of the honesty that Rodgers is spewing about your team on the Pat McAfee show, and then, oh, by the way, on top of it, he's also talking to an opposing quarterback with another AFC team that you could potentially be competing with down the line in the season if the Cincinnati Bengals recover things, if the Jets recover things. How are you feeling about this morning?
If Robert Saleh says anything, I would be shocked. Now, how he's feeling internally, he's probably pissed off, because we know it, and Rich, you know it better than anybody. Football is like the last true gladiator sport that we have, where it's people who play football are a little messed up in the head. So are people who coach football. And like people who coach football want to keep every single advantage they could possibly have to themselves. The fact that Aaron Rodgers is doing this, I think it shows lack, or at least talking about it shows lack of forethought from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But also Robert Saleh probably can't even send him a text because of how protected Aaron Rodgers is by this New York Jets front office.
No, I think he could.
Yeah. He could text him, hey, how you doing, bud? He can't say, hey, shut the F up about Joe Burrow.
No, not that. Yeah, I didn't understand what you meant. Like, they're communicating. There's no doubt in my mind. But Travis, do you think that this bugs Robert? Like, if you gave him sodium pentothal, where he's like truth serum.
Yes.
Like, would he say,
we should do that on air?
Yes.
We did CMOS gel today. Maybe we'll do truth serum tomorrow. Who says no? Who says no?
Who's here to stop us?
Nobody.
There's nobody that can stop us. Yeah. He's angry. He doesn't want this to happen. I mean, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. I mean, you're bonding over this injury, and he's saying, yeah, man, you can play through it. Look, if Aaron Rodgers is looking at the NFL as a whole, it's better if Joe Burrow's playing. If Joe Burrow's not playing, the NFL is a little bit less fun to watch. So, and Aaron Rodgers is already gone. Aaron, that was a heartbreak. I'm sorry, it was a heartbreak.
We were talking in the commercial break. How fun would this Sunday night matchup be if Aaron Rodgers was still here?
Are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, this is the reason why this is a Sunday night matchup.
Chiefs, Jets, Sunday night, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Come on.
And by the way, the Jets have another 4 primetime appointments this season coming up, or I should say another 3, because they already have had 2.
One's about to get flexed out for sure.
Yeah, definitely going to be the case, especially if the Jets continue spiraling, which it looks like they are. There have been reports all over New York about how this locker room is on the precipice of implosion. That's what they're saying.
It's crazy that Aaron Rodgers held all that together. The losing of Aaron Rodgers has now caused this Jets team to absolutely go to shambles.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm the head coach, I mean, dude, shut up, stop talking. I don't want that guy to get better. I get it, but on the other hand, I mean, you're being a nice person at that point.
Yeah. He's trying to help out another guy, and that's what people do. They help each other out. But yeah, if you're Robert Saleh, you're doing a whole lot of like knuckle biting as this season goes on. Like every Tuesday, you're like, come on, Aaron, don't do it to us again.
And if you're Dan Campbell, I'm going to need some extra passes out of Jared Goff tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got your underdog set?
Yeah, 252 I took higher.
Okay, so 252 for Jared Goff. You took the higher
That is
on
a
the stat pick.
mistake.
Okay, so check it out. The pick'em game that we're talking about on Underdog Fantasy is what has us glued to our television sets every single NFL game. If you haven't downloaded Underdog Fantasy yet, you need to. So the pick'em game is where you pick between 2 and 5 players, and then you just decide whether they're going to go higher or lower in their stats. It's that simple. You're clicking buttons, and 2 minutes later, boom, you can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a lot of fun no matter what number of players you want to pick, because you have something to watch while you're watching the game. When you download the app, if you're signing up for the first time, sign up with promo code XTRA, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Plus, new customers, there's a mystery special pick live in their pick'em lobby. So that's another reason why you should download Underdog Fantasy today. Sign up with promo code XTRA. Okay, you must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. I love Underdog Fantasy. It is my favorite. Okay, coming up next, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, our best friend, Preller, Melvin, who stays, who goes, or will they both stay? That's next.
It's hour 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Kevin Acee going to be stopping by a little earlier than normal, so keep tuned in for that. This update presented by Staples Stores. Starting off with the Padres. They get their first extra innings win of the season last night over the Giants 5-2. Somehow, Padres still magically alive in the postseason conversation. Here's the scenario for them to get in. They need to sweep the White Sox. The Marlins and Cubs both need to lose their last 4 games. The Reds need to lose their series to the Pirates. Long ball or long shot, but it could potentially happen. In the NBA, blockbuster trade yesterday, Damian Lillard's saga in Portland has officially come to a close. He will join the Milwaukee Bucks, creating the newest NBA super team and in the NFL. Thursday night football tonight, Packers, Lions in Green Bay. That kicks off week 4 of the NFL season. At Staples, you can count on every print project being perfect. Now get $50 off your print order of $150 or more. Offer ends 10/14. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See an associate or visit staples.com/print for details. Perfect prints guaranteed at Staples.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. And wherever you're listening to us, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Every single morning, I'm usually waking up, turning on the iHeartRadio app and streaming our station, listening to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe on Fox Sports Radio before I get in the car, and then my phone automatically connects to the Bluetooth, and I come to the station and I'm listening to the speakers here. If you want to take us wherever you go, you can download the free iHeartRadio app, and you can start your listening before you get in a car. A lot of people associate the car with Sports Talk Radio. I do the dishes listening to Sports Talk.
I do too.
I do when
Yep.
you know what?
I got the Google Home that's fired up there in the kitchen.
I've got a pile of cardboard boxes outside of our door, like every 3 days, that I have to take one of those box cutters to, because I think she truly believes if she throws them out the side door onto our deck, they disappear. So usually I have like 6 or 7 or 8 of them, and it's like, wow, it took you 30 minutes to break down all those cardboard boxes, and I'm just listening to podcasts and stuff.
I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to curl up with a nice cup of tea. Nice cozy weather right now.
Mm-hmm.
Put in the AirPods and listen to every single one of our Kevin Acee interviews on the free iHeartRadio app.
Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760. Brought to you by Hamul Casino. Hamul Casino, fun above all else. Quidel Ortho, changing lives one test at a time.
Yep, you can only hear him here all throughout the baseball season on San Diego Sports 760. Joins all the shows. You'll hear him on the Darren Smith Show as well, and John and Jim later on in the week. But Kevin, he's our Wednesday guy normally, but we moved it to Thursday, and we're not doing StreamYard today. A lot of people love to see Kevin bright and early on the stream live with us. But you're on your way to Chicago, my friend. How's the airport looking?
I wouldn't know because the flight was delayed. So I am still at my hotel, but got up to join you guys, and so that's really what's important.
That really is. However, now I'm concerned. We could have StreamYard. We could have seen each other's lovely faces.
Yeah.
I think
I offended Kevin immediately.
Kevin?
Yeah.
You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
You're back.
Oh my gosh.
If I move 1 foot, it's San Francisco where there's no tech, because so it's not surprising that you'd have trouble with your cell phone. When I woke up at whatever it was, 3 a.m, and saw that my flight was delayed, I'm like, cool, now I don't have to wake up till like 9 or so. And then I woke up at 7:30 and said, oh, okay, I'll go back to crap. Good.
Yeah. Well, Kev, I think we're gonna have to hang up on you.
Yeah, you know what? It's a little sketchy.
Yeah, Ben, hang up on him, text him, tell him to get to maybe the dog walking area.
Right.
You know how like now airports, they all have that little turf grass area where they can relieve themselves. We'll get back with Kevin in a second. He needs just to find a window somewhere he can lean against and find some cell signal. In the meantime, here's what I'll say about Kevin Acee's article. So if you haven't read it yet, go to San Diego Union Tribune and check this out, because what the quotes that are coming out of here from sources are more bombshells. It feels like it's every single day now that there's more being unearthed, and Kevin Acee has been at the heart of this story for a long time. A civil war is what one source reported the relationship between Bob Melvin and AJ Preller. A civil war. So that means, by the way, for anybody who wants to, recant history and go back to the 1860s, that means there's people in the building picking sides. Because when the Confederates against the Union occurred, you had a large swath of people on either side of the country at odds with each other, which means that there are certain people who are in the Preller camp and there are certain people in the Bob Melvin camp. That's the way it reads to me. I don't know how it landed with you, Travis.
Yeah, no, that's the same. I got the same. Now, and in the most recent article here, the Padres prefer to retain AJ Preller and Bob Melvin. I mean, what are they supposed to say? What is Peter Seidler supposed to say? I look forward to splitting this up. I mean, that's not going to happen. Of course, they're going to say they prefer it.
So Kevin's back, and we reviewed Kev a couple of the lines from your article that came out today, focusing on the relationship between Bob Melvin and AJ Preller, manager and general manager, president of baseball operations, respectively, addressing the rift that's grown between them. Civil war are strong words, but that's what one source reported the relationship looking like. And we were just discussing amongst ourselves, a civil war means that people are choosing sides. Like, I mean, we just reviewed history, right? And we went back, and now we weren't alive during those times, but there was a large contingent of people in the North and a large contingent of the people of the South who had very different thought processes about what was going on in the country at that time. Is that the same with the Padres organization? Are there camps that are oppositional to each other supporting Melvin or Preller?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I wouldn't have used the quote if I did not think, and if the people that I am, talking to dozens of people over the course of months, that if I didn't think that was accurate, I would not have used that quote. That is, like, I wouldn't have used a quote that was like, especially like that incendiary, just to give someone a voice. Which I suppose, sometimes that's a quote that you might put in there, but that one, there's no chance that I would have had it not accurately described to a lot of people. Look, I probably wouldn't have written the story. I mean, this has been something that's been an open secret. I probably wouldn't have written the story if I didn't believe strongly that it had reached that point.
Kevin, it took President Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation to step in and say, hey, look, this is over with. We are united. We are one country. This is the law of the land, and we are one. We are the United States. Can Peter Seidler come in and be the President Lincoln and mend this, or is it impossible?
As was pointed out in the story, if for no other reason, both of these guys, Bob Melvin and AJ Preller, want the Padres to win. They want to be a part of the organization and what has, they believe can happen and has been built. And they both have a lot to lose. And I think that those are all three, to varying extents, big motivating factors. So the answer is yes. Look, there are people that believe that it's irreconcilable. I didn't put that out there because that's not for me to say. Like, I put that out there that some people said that and believe that. As a matter of fact, more people believe that than don't believe it. But I don't know that I believe in the concept of irreconcilable. I understand when things feel irreconcilable. So that's where it feels for a lot of people right now.
Kevin, another part of this article was the 24-hour cage match, or the 24 hours after Sunday's season finale, the cage match that's going to take place. And you mentioned the cast of characters who's actually going to be in the room. Outside of Bob Melvin and AJ Preller, there's also going to be representatives from Peter Seidler's Equity Partners Group. There's going to be the Padres CEO, Eric Grupner, there. Can you tell me what they're expecting to get out of this cage match?
Well, they're looking to talk about what can they do going forward. I think people are very aware of some of the issues between everybody, and they're looking to talk about what they can do. Can people work together and what they can do going forward? And I understand where we're at, and I understand like how, this is a little bit of not a little bit. It's a very strange situation. even though things like this go on to some extent in some organizations and a lot of organizations, both inside of sports and outside of sports, I just want to like talk about the cage match issue and like make sure it's understood like how seriously I took this story, how terrible I feel that sometimes when you write these things, though I waited and waited and waited and waited some more to write this story. This is something that neither AJ Preller nor Bob Melvin are very happy about, or very happy to be going through, or are very happy to have it aired publicly. And I just want to make sure that I'm giving it the proper seriousness. Now, that's me. I'm just saying for me, I feel like that's my responsibility to let it be known like the seriousness with which I'm taking it. And I know that these guys aren't thrilled about this.
Yeah, Kevin, I honestly think that the truth prevails in these situations. And I know that it's difficult to be at the center of a lot of these stories for you, but we appreciate it. And I know a lot of Padres fans appreciate it because here's the deal. Why is this happening has been at the root of this Padres season for a long time for all of us on the outside looking in. And I know sometimes even you have felt, and you've admitted as much, about feeling like an outsider because it's a very insular culture there with the Padres, and it's tough to crack that nut. But the fact that you're giving us some light, an avenue to see into some of the turmoil that's occurred, that's resulted in what we've seen on the field, I think this honestly gives a lot of people, I'm not going to say it doesn't relax any of the anxiety over what could come next year, but at least the opponent has a face. At least we know what we're dealing with. Like when you have a general manager and a president of baseball operations at odds with each other, when you have poor communication between the front office and the front office to the field level, and then as a result, the clubhouse doesn't feel intact. Well, of course you're going to have a massive failure on your hands. And I think you're lending some light and some I don't know, at very least some truth to the situation that felt very guarded throughout the year.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, that's my job, right? Like that's what I do. So yes, absolutely. Now, like what is crazy is now it didn't get to this level last year. I'm not smart enough to know exactly how much this situation affected the Padres on the field, right? Like as you know, and I'll tell you, it's quite a bit. It's even more in baseball because of the length of the season and the grind that it is. Maybe the nature of the players, I don't know, but it's very insular. These guys are rightfully, necessarily self-centered. I guarantee you that many of them didn't even know this was going on. That doesn't mean that there wasn't an effect, and it didn't affect the team to some extent. Had some guys just hit better, had Manny not been hurt, and maybe played better earlier, had Xander Bogaerts not been hurt, a couple hits here and there, had Josh Hader pitched a little bit more once or twice. I mean, all sorts of little tiny things. There's like 20, I got it up to like 25, 26 games now that if like one play could have changed those games. And it turns out that there's going to be a couple teams that go to the playoffs that aren't very good ahead of the Padres. Like the Padres were so close yet so far from the playoffs. And it's like all of this could have been like changed. Now, this would have had to be something the Padres needed to address. Like it wasn't good last year. And it was, even if they had gone on a 19-game win streak to finish the season, this issue was going to have to be addressed. But my story would not have looked like this, and there would not be this dire situation with decisions to be made, in this manner, and it would have been different. But it's not, and they're not in a good way, and that's the way it is.
We're talking with our Padres insider, Kevin Acee, also our best friend in the whole wide world. And coming up after this interview here, we do have Guns N' Roses tickets that we're going to be giving away still. But Kevin, Peter Seidler, there was news that he had to take a little time off here for some illness or maybe an unscheduled hospital visits. Any information on that or anything new there? Is he doing okay?
He's doing well enough to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some question about that. And so, but he has made his preferences known, and he is the boss. That keeps being reminded to me. He owns the team. So we know how he feels now. I heard when I was coming back on after my phone issues here. That, what else is he supposed to say? I promise you, through the course of this reporting, the top of that story changed 5 times in the final week. And I promise you, he wasn't just saying that he wants to keep those guys. He wants to keep those guys. That's what he believes in strongly. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But that is something that was made known to the people that are, quote, running the team on a day-to-day basis, that the boss wants to keep Bob Melvin and Acee Preller.
Kevin, I really like the way you finished this article, and it's with a quote from Peter Seidler from 2 years ago in 2021 after the collapse. And he says, we're going to work deliberately to make sure what happened this year never happens in this organization ever again. And then you finish it by saying, yet here the Padres are again. Are we expecting more similar quotes to come out this year?
Well, not from Peter, but probably because that's all they can say. And I like Peter very much, but I felt like it was important to, I see a lot of things happen in the teams that I've covered, and I really don't think the problem is in messing up. I think the problem is in messing up the same way twice or 3 times or more. And so Peter, that needed to be brought up. I believe you got to have you got to be held to that when you say things like that. To their credit, they went out and made some changes after that year, and they won. They went to the National League Championship Series. It wasn't a fantastic season. They won 89 games, but it was good. They went to the National Championship Series. I think I just said National Championship Series. But they, but this year is a freaking disaster. So things got to change.
Yeah. Man, Kevin,
wait.
What?
If the Padres don't make the postseason,
Go on.
is this our last conversation with Kevin Acee this season?
Oh boy.
I mean, I wasn't mentally prepared for this.
I wasn't either. I would have handled this interview a lot differently if I knew this was the last time. Kevin, is it possible? Is it even likely that you could maybe squeeze some time in for us next week?
I can, for sure. We can do a little wrap up, but I think that's what you're saying then, is that you don't believe that the Marlins and the Cubs will lose today and then lose against both of them tomorrow and then again the next day and then the next day.
That is accurate.
Don't forget, in the meantime, the Padres need to sweep the White Sox.
Right, they need to win Friday and then Saturday and then Sunday. And so I don't even know how to work the odds of 13 or 14 results dependent on men, how guys play. It's not just like robots. It's not like rolling dice. I don't know how to figure those odds.
No.
But if you're saying that's not going to happen, fine. Whatever. We'll do next week.
Okay. So, Kevin, same time, same bat channel. We'll see you Wednesday at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Anytime you want. Anytime you want.
Yeah. You pick the time, but
you choose.
We need one more.
It's always one more. You're always chasing the high with me. If you're gonna get a hit, you're gonna look. It's gonna be a problem.
Oh God, we're gonna miss you so much.
Oh God.
I think he's gone.
What,
I think he just hung up. But
we love you. We love you, Kevin.
Hey, guys.
Oh, there
I'll see
he
you
is.
later.
Okay.
Jeez, you know what?
Talk to you later.
Tell you what, he's a tough nut to crack, but I still love him.
Yes, I do. I love him so much.
Kevin Acee on San Diego Sports 760 is brought to you by Hamul Casino. With thousands of slots, table games, and a sports bar voted San Diego's best, Hamul Casino is always a fan favorite. Quidel Ortho is proud to be the official diagnostics partner of the San Diego Padres. Quidel Ortho has been making a difference every day, changing lives one test at a time.
Yeah.
Well, we just heard from Kevin Acee, boys, and he said a lot in that interview, and he said a lot in his article. If you haven't read it yet, head on over to the San Diego Union Tribune and check out Kevin Acee's latest work. It is a little bit of very telling of what's happening between Bob Melvin and AJ Preller and what's to come between those two. Okay, NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight. We got the Lions, we got the Packers, and the Lions currently are 2.5-point favorites on the road in Green Bay, which is a situation where Vegas would tell you smash the Packers. Also in the NFL, some injury updates. We got Austin Eckler likely to return this week, so set your fantasy lineups accordingly. And the only thing that the NFL world cares about, Taylor Swift will be at MetLife Stadium this weekend as the Chiefs take on the Jets on Sunday Night Football.
Okay, yeah. So we have news pouring out of New York about some of the things that are happening in this game. You got Chiefs linebackers taking shots at the New York Jets, saying things like all they're going to do is run the football because they can't pass. At least that's what the inference was.
That's it's an offense that wants to run. Yeah,
that was the exact quote. And then also this Thursday night game, relatively quiet.
Oh, dude, I love this game.
Yeah,
I think it's my favorite primetime matchup so far.
We're not hearing a lot of the back and forth, the chirps and the tweets and the things, because I think there's obviously a lot on the line anytime you're playing against a division rival, but this has very quickly become a two-horse race. Minnesota Vikings have dropped to 0-3 on the season. The Bears have dropped to 0-3 on the season. You have 2-1 teams, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers facing off. You got to assume there's going to be a bunch of wins against those other teams in your division. So these are crucial. These are crucial. If you are going to take the NFC North crown, you got to beat the Lions if you're the Packers. You got to beat the Packers if you're the Lions. And so it's been quiet, man. I haven't heard any of the trash talk. It's been very respectful. I think both of these sides knows what's on tap for them this evening.
And you have such polar opposites at the head coach position, right? Dan Campbell is such a fiery, biting kneecap style of coach, and Matt LaFleur is very calm and reserved and kind of offensive mastermind type guy. Like the dichotomy of these two teams is so interesting. A veteran quarterback in Jared Goff versus a young buck in Jordan Love. Two high-powered offenses from the running back position. We'll see about the passing game tonight. Like, it is so fascinating in this game how many storylines we have and how no one's talking about it.
Dichotomy.
Big word.
Look at you.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Did you find that in the CMOS jail that we had earlier?
Hang out with Rich Orberg long enough. You come up with a couple words.
I'll tell you what, this Ben Fletcher, he's caught up in a big way.
You want to talk juxtapositions? Because I got you.
Yeah, that is another one of the words.
You want to know about the prognosticators where they're leaning tonight? I got that one too.
I have now gotten literally in the past 15 minutes 3 updates that J-Riff is working out.
I don't think he's working out. Well, technically he is. He's doing a lot of push-ups. Wink.
Just one push-up. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
He also listens to us while he's at the gym in the morning, so he's hearing this. So feel free.
Well, it says he just finished an indoor run.
I don't think that's what he was doing indoors at 8:20 in the morning.
It says indoor run, and he ran 0.43 miles.
I think somebody's going to be late for work. Anyways, look, here's the point, guys.
Stay hydrated.
It is worse than we thought with the Padres. We're going to get back to some of the things that Kevin Acee said during that interview. He had a run, though. He had to catch a flight, so he's going 10 toes up because he's exhausted from the road trip to the Bay Area, heading to Chicago for the final series of the season for the Padres. And while he goes 10 toes up, I hope that he's wearing arch supports from the Good Feet store on those feet and on those little piggies, right? The Good Feet store, they've got these arch supports that create better balance, better performance in anything you're doing, injury prevention and recovery. So if you've got a bad back, bad feet, bad ankles, bad knees, bad hips, and you want to feel better, do what I did. Go to the Good Feet store. You'll spend 20 minutes. That's it. 20 minutes with one of their highly trained professionals. They'll get you arch supports that work for you. You wear them around and you'll see the joint pain melt away. It's been a lifesaver and a life changer for me. So check them out at one of their 200 plus locations around the U.S. and overseas, 30 plus years experience. You can trust them. Check out goodfeet.com for more information. And coming up next, the Padres, a civil war a brewing. Which side will prevail? We'll discuss next.
The Padres inside the front office. It may be worse than we thought. We'll talk about it next.
This update is presented by the County of San Diego HHSA. Started off with the Padres. They get their first extra innings win of the year last night against the Giants 5-2, and somehow the Padres are still magically alive in the postseason conversation. Here's the scenario for them to get in. First, they need to sweep the White Sox. Without that, they don't get in. And while they're sweeping the White Sox, the Marlins and Cubs need to lose every single game they have left, which is 4. And the Reds also need to lose their series against the Pirates. Long odds, yes. In the NBA, blockbuster trade yesterday, Damian Lillard has come to Milwaukee. He will join Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks. In the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight between the Packers and the Lions. And in the XFL and USFL, they are now under one umbrella. The USFL and the XFL have officially merged as of this morning. If you haven't gotten your updated COVID vaccine yet, make sure you do it. Getting the COVID vaccine is the safest and most effective way to protect yourself. Visit SanDiegoCounty.gov/coronavirus to schedule an appointment to get your updated COVID vaccine.
It's Big Rich and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Coming up this Saturday, we're going to be broadcasting live out at AleSmith. What are all the details on that, Fletch?
3 to 5 o'clock. It's
Okay.
our Aztecs walk up to kickoff. John Schaefer, J.R. Tolver, Jim Russell, and a little guy named Ben Fletcher. We'll all be out there at AleSmith on Saturday. So get over there at 3 o'clock, pour you up some state ale, and celebrate them Aztecs.
I wouldn't say a little guy. I mean, you dropped 30 pounds, and we all know what that means. Science.
Big
Yep.
guy.
Yeah, big guy.
1
Big guy.
inch larger.
That's correct. And
On
coming
my
up,
fingernails.
that's right. That's right. Coming up in 5 minutes, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, we got to
Snapdragon
give these
Stadium.
away because we actually have something really special planned for a lot of listeners around San Diego. Guns N' Roses tickets, awesome. Sunday show, October 1st at Snapdragon Stadium. So be listening. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to be giving those away. But we have another giveaway, a surprise giveaway to cap off this Thursday show. We're actually going to have an in-studio guest. So a lot of surprises around the corner here for our listeners. Okay.
This in-studio guest is not real.
Yes, that is true.
Whoa, one of them is.
Well, yeah, actually, one will talk, one guest will not.
Okay, it's correct.
Yeah,
It's correct.
Because it's not real.
He's bounded by
What
science.
do you mean because it's a bird?
It's a robot.
Oh, okay. All right. I see where you're going with this.
Okay.
And you know what? I don't like it.
I don't either.
Well, all birds are robots.
I
like
was
where your head's
surprised
at.
by Kevin Acee. A lot of the things that he said, obviously confirming his reporting from his article. And if you haven't read it in the Union Tribune, Kevin Acee does a masterful job.
I put it up at Big Rich TD Fletch on Twitter if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, it's worth a read. It really is. Kevin Acee details the fact that there's been a huge amount of strife between AJ Preller and Bob Melvin throughout the course of the season per sources. And as a result of that, there's going to be kind of a, hey, all hands on deck, all cars posted. Like we need to figure this out before we make any decisions or move on from here. So there is going to be that meeting following this last series in Chicago between the Padres and the White Sox. And I assume we'll have some answers immediately following that meeting. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to be a little bit more cloak and dagger with the Padres, but it feels like something must change and something will change, and we'll see what the result of that meeting is. But Kevin Acee pulled no punches. He said, look, I'm very careful with my reporting. You guys know that. I'd rather be right than first.
Mm-hmm.
I have spent a season talking to dozens of sources, making sure to cross every T and dot every single I, and I wouldn't use a quote just to give my article a little bit more panache, like it's a civil war.
Multiple seasons. He said he could have released this at the end of the last year, but the Padres were doing so well.
He said, but the reality of this situation is there is real animosity. There is a developing, and this is the question I asked him directly, of two camps within the Padres organization. You have the Preller camp, you have the Melvin camp, and they are going to war right now.
Just like Twilight. Team Jacob, Team Edward.
Which one are you?
I don't know. Which one's which?
Edward's the vampire.
Is that the hot one?
They're both hot.
The guy from Harry Potter?
Come on, buddy. Yeah.
Whatever not Taylor Lautner is.
Which one? I don't. Taylor Lautner he's a werewolf.
Oh, he was the werewolf. Yeah.
Werewolf.
Was he in that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, he was. I'm thinking of the other guy with abs.
The other dude.
Zac Efron. That's what I was thinking of.
Yes, I wish Zac Efron was in him. What's the other guy?
I'll tell you what. He's my hall pass.
Well, the other guy's
Edward Cullen.
He's like a really good actor.
Well, he was Batman.
Rob
Pattinson.
Rob Pattinson.
Boom.
And he glittered.
By the way, he's going to be the next Padres general manager and president of baseball operations, which I think there's going to be a lot of fans confused by this.
Gonna live forever.
Look, also what came up in this conversation with Acee is Peter Seidler still actively involved in decision making, which there was a lot of questions about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all wishing the best health-wise and medically for Peter Seidler, obviously given his past history with some of the medical situations he's faced. He's a cancer survivor and a recent one at that. It's scary, and we're not going to say that that's what this is, but something happened that they are addressing medically, and none of us know what it is. But the worry and the concern, just from the standpoint of operations and business tactics with the front office, was he wasn't going to be involved with decision-making with this, which is, I mean, that's kind of a frightful thing since he's the architect of all this.
Right. Kevin did make it clear to us that he is still the boss and is still involved.
Does it sound fixable at all?
Okay.
To me, it does not. It just doesn't sound. It just doesn't sound fixable. Because even if you got in this meeting, you came to a consensus, everybody's happy, we're shaking hands, it's beautiful. As soon as one thing starts to go south next season, all the animosity comes back.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Is it fixable? Yes. But I don't think it's fixable with all the current pieces on the chessboard coming back and being in their same places next year. I do think there's going to be movement. I don't know what that means yet, but I don't think it's fixable in its current form. Yeah. It's that time. Okay. You know what that is.
More cowbell.
That's a little GNR. That's right. I want you to really hammer the cowbell, Travis, as I do this read. That's right. Coming to Snapdragon October 1st. Guns N' Roses. Alice in Chains opening for them. We're excited about that. Woo! That's an awesome way to open your show. But if you want to see the Sunday show at Snapdragon Stadium, you got to call in right now. 844-570-1360. If you want more information about the show, head to Ticketmaster.com. But this is a great opportunity. Caller number 7, 844-570-1360. is going to win these Guns N' Roses tickets.
I thought for sure you were going to play Civil War.
Oh my gosh, what a missed opportunity. Actually, maybe play it. because it has that long intro.
Yeah.
We could just have it under the rest of our conversation here about the Padres Civil War.
What's so civil about war, anyways?
We've got here is
Failure to communicate. Because some men,
men
you just can't reach.
just can't reach.
So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well,
Well,
he gets it.
Here's the whistling.
What in the world?
Yeah.
I
This
don't
is
like
one of the
this
best intros. of
any
all
more
time.
than you do, Fletch.
This is so good. So yeah, look, I mean, it does feel like there's a little bit of a death march on with the San Diego Padres as we head into the inevitable. They have to win every single game of the last 3 against the White Sox on the road. And then you need a ton of help from the teams ahead of them in the wild card. You need failure, you need falter, you need really a miracle and like 13 different things to happen for the Padres to get in. So as this thing slides to a stop, what is going to happen next with this front office? My best guess today is if anybody's going to go, it isn't going to be AJ Preller. My best guess today is AJ Preller will be allowed to have his 6, count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 managers in his tenure as general manager and president of baseball operations with the Padres.
I would not bet against that. I have the exact same feeling, and it has been almost teased somehow without anybody actually saying it that Bob Melvin's going to be the guy that has to go. He's going to be the guy that voluntarily, as I use air quotes, has to step down. I believe as well, at least my gut tells me AJ Preller stays, Bob Melvin goes, and Padre fans are not really excited about who takes over for Bob Melvin.
Here's the quote from the article. An internal review is underway and significant meeting is scheduled to take place in the 24 hours after Sunday's season finale. It will involve both men, meaning Preller and Melvin, a broader cast of advisors than usual as Padres chairman Peter Seidler recovers from a medical procedure. Those advisors include Padres CEO Eric Grupner and at least one member of the Seidler Equity Partners. The quote here to finish this up, everything has to be on the table, said one highly placed source.
Yeah.
Everything has to be on the table. A grim reality for Padres fans is this is exactly what we were promised will not happen. There will not be another collapse. There has been, and a fix. It has to come on the other side of disaster. I just don't know what it's going to look like.
Now, this is not a prediction of what's going to happen. This is a prediction of what would fix it. It would be firing Preller and keeping Melvin, in my opinion.
What do you think is the most likely thing to happen? Because I know you're answering the phone call for the Guns N'
Most
Roses
likely
winner.
thing that happens, and Melvin's out, Preller maintains.
Yeah.
Consensus.
I think,
And I don't think that fixes anything.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Okay, if you missed out on the Guns N' Roses tickets, keep those telephone fingers ready to dial our number again because we have a very special guest, or I should say a couple of guests, on the other side, and we have another very special ticket giveaway. That's next on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Stick around. We have tickets to see something that rarely happens in San Diego. That's coming up next. Man, if you are listening on your iHeartRadio app, we appreciate it. Send the link to a buddy if you like the show. That definitely helps out. And also take us wherever you go on that free iHeartRadio app. I use this thing all the time for other podcasts. My son's really into Greek mythology all of a sudden.
Oh, hey now.
So there's a podcast by Nat Geo called Greeking Out. And I kid you not, like we listen to it almost every day at some point during the day. I'm raising a complete nerd just like me.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. Yeah.
Am I supposed to know something here, Travis?
Well, no, it reminded me, I was pointing at Fletch during this, and he's like, why are you pointing at me? You told us yesterday as a homework assignment we were supposed to watch Naked Attraction. I did not do that, but apparently everyone else is, because it is the #1 show on HBO Max now.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Okay, so we have, as promised, a 4-pack of tickets to something very special here happening in San Diego. Doesn't happen all that often. A 4-pack of tickets to see the Anaheim Ducks host the Los Angeles Kings in the National Hockey League exhibition game tomorrow, Friday, September 29th at Pechanga Arena, right here on Sports Arena Boulevard. This is absolutely awesome, and we welcome in Matt Savant, President of Business Operations with the San Diego Gulls. So you've got the Ducks on your home ice. How do you feel about that, Matt?
Well, first of all, I feel great to be here because I listen to you guys, so this is awesome.
My man.
Right on.
My man.
See you guys. It's great.
That's
Thanks
good
for
to see
having
you.
us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now,
Give him some CMOS.
Yeah. So every interview guest that walks through the door, it's initiation, right, Travis?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've done this for
We always
ages
do
and
this.
ages. You have to take a scoop, a big heaping scoop of CMOS
Don't
gel
do it, Matt.
if you want to hang.
Don't do
Boy,
it,
that sounds
Matt.
like a great idea. Why don't we all do it together after the interview?
Yeah.
Huh? I love it.
You know what? We are so healthy. We love it.
We did it earlier. Actually, I'll show you the video of this. So we're going to be posting this online after the show. And
It's terrible.
if you've never tried CMOS gel, I'm going to warn you, don't.
And Matt, are you a sympathetic puker? Because you might get some even if you just
without a
okay.
doubt.
Take
What do
a
you mean? You're
Hang on,
can
check
you not
this
hear,
out.
Matt? Oh, you know what? That little knob right there next
Oh,
to
yeah,
your,
yeah. Sorry.
there you go.
We didn't pump up your
Yeah,
headphones.
there we go.
So check this out. This is my immediate reaction after eating this junk. Here we go. 2 and 3.
And by the way, that was not a small spoonful. You jumped right into it.
Hold on.
Nice work.
That's because Rich said we had to have 2 tablespoons full. So we all had heaping.
You look super healthy.
I can't tell. Do you realize that I have 95 of the 102 minerals that are necessary for good health just flowing through my bloodstream right now?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, take a gander.
Oh yeah,
it looks like congealed chicken fat, and I promise you,
I wish it was.
It would have been so much tastier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this whole thing home with me. I need to get really healthy.
Yeah,
Spread it on bread. Do what you will. Okay, so in 5 minutes, we're giving away a 4-pack of tickets to see the Anaheim Ducks take on the Los Angeles Kings in this NHL exhibition game on the ice at Pechanga Arena. What time does the puck drop tomorrow?
Okay, so it starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Pechanga Arena. And just a little bit of history on this. This is the first time an NHL game has been played in San Diego since 1994. Almost 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is a big deal. And you guys know hockey is alive and well in San Diego. If you guys have been to a San Diego Gulls game, the fan base shows up every single weekend, and it's amazing. And it kind of shocks people across the league. Like, how does San Diego do so well? It's such a rich history of hockey going back to Willie O'Ree. And the Gulls have been here since 1966. So there's a lot of just history and there's a lot of fandom. So when we found out that the tickets were selling so well for an NHL game, we weren't surprised, but it's almost sold out. So if you're interested, SanDiegoGulls.com, go get your tickets right now.
Yeah, no.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely love it. I forgot what I was going to ask. I lost my train of thought.
Well, this is only the third time the Ducks have hosted anybody in an NHL exhibition game in San Diego. And like you said, 29 years ago was the last time.
Yep.
It's happening on the 29th of September. It feels like the stars are aligning for an awesome match. When I think about hockey, this is what I think about, because I've been to a handful of hockey games. My cousin used to play in college.
Nice.
College hockey's fun to watch.
It's fun, yeah.
I watched the Bruins when I lived in Boston playing for the Patriots, and I've been right up against the glass watching the Gulls out there. I remember one time you guys gave me the opportunity to drop the puck. I gave it to my son at the time, who was 1 year old.
Nice.
He still he says he remembers it. I think he remembers because we talk about it. But if you've never been to a Gulls game, and Matt, you can back me up here, you've seen a million of these.
Yeah.
It is some of the most intense hockey you can watch. These players in the AHL, I mean, this is, in my opinion, it is the most intense hockey because these guys are vying for their future.
They are. They're one step away from the National Hockey League. And if you watch hockey, these guys are huge, right? They're 6'4", 200 plus, and they're flying on skates. These guys are going over 20 miles an hour on skates, chasing around a little rubber object, and they're trying to kill each other. So
with sticks.
It is an intense situation, but the best part about it is they're amazing athletes. If you really watch them, it's amazing to see what they can pull off out there at those speeds. And something that's cool about tomorrow night is we've had a lot of NHL players come through San Diego. So for you guys that don't know, the way the AHL works and the NHL works, the Ducks own the Gulls. So all of the players on the Gulls are basically future Ducks. They're just young. They're on their way up through the system. So you're watching really talented athletes out there. And the cool part about tomorrow night is we're going to have players that have come through the Gulls and have been all-stars for the Ducks for the last couple of years that played here. So there's a lot of connection and a lot of history for our fans.
Okay, the time right now is 8:53. We're about 5 seconds away from 8:53. So what we're going to do with this 4-pack of tickets to see this game that you're describing, Matt, is we're going to give away these tickets at 8:55 exactly. Give our app listeners on the free iHeartRadio app an opportunity to dial in. So don't dial in now. You will be hung up on. In fact, boom, Ben just hung up on a guy. That's how fast it happens.
Wow.
You got to call it 8:55 exactly, 844-570-1360, and you will win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Ducks, the Kings, on the home ice of the Gulls at Pechanga Arena tomorrow night. Puck drops at 7 p.m., and we couldn't be any more thrilled for you, Matt.
Right. Matt, what caller do you want here to win these?
Yeah, which number caller?
Well, it's 8:55 is when the winner is. So why don't we go caller 5?
Okay, love it.
Thank you for not saying 55.
Yeah, I was like, please say 855. Please.
That would be here until 10 o'clock.
Thank you to Matt and the whole Goals organization. We appreciate you guys swinging by. Thank you to Kevin Acee, who went deeper on his article that he released about the Padres yesterday. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Brian Wilson, who's in studio. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, head to, again, the website.
SanDiegoGulls.com. You can get tickets there, 7 p.m. tomorrow night.
Absolutely love it. We'll see you tomorrow. The Herd is next.
Dude, yeah. Nice work.